People hear me now. I don't know why my mic sometimes does that. Hopefully, people can hear me. All right. Wonderful. The Elaine meme is never going to end. Sorry, I was in a bit of a rush, but yeah. All right. And I'm being told, how about the boom? how's everyone doing? Yes, boom. Oh, I was going to say it's not been too bad of a day, but apparently I am still sorting that all out. So, yeah. How is everyone doing overall? I hope people are having a great day. Um, it's it's been a day, but hopefully we're all having a better day than Bitboy Crypto has been. He is he's certainly a character. I will say that. So we're going to review his actions. We're going to review sort of what has him, getting into custody because he was taken into custody by police. He's acknowledged that. He's admitted that. And we're going to talk about some of his statement afterwards. We're going to see if any of this takes me offline because there is a distinct possibility that he might be using copyright claims wrongly to knock people off the net. But yeah, we'll just have to see. Now, I am also going to pull up here just because it's kind of relevant and kind of useful here. So let's just start with something interesting. So that is this, and we're gonna have to embiggen. So this is his mugshot, and just keep this mugshot in mind here a little bit. Now, Bitboy Crypto has an interesting history because Bitboy Crypto has been, and now Ben Armstrong has been removed from the Bitboy Crypto platform, which is unusual because he was the face of it. So he was the face of this platform, and then he got some attention from sort of the LawTube community because he got into the allegations were that he was engaged in what was some very flagrant allegations of contempt of court, including threats to the attorney and various other things which, by all sense, are an extremely bad idea, a very bad idea. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. So I'm just noticing, this is his mugshot. Apparently, he is staring right at the camera, and he seems to. He's got a very sort of intent look to him there. So, and I see this is the guy who skipped court for a cruise, right? It is. It is the guy who has skipped court for a cruise. So, it is really. This guy is taking some really interesting life choices. But that's not what gets us here today. So what gets us here today, he was pushed out of his company. He was sort of he was the face of Bitboy Crypto, right? And a lot of these channels, not my channel, because my channel is really just me and some helpful mods. But some of these channels, these big channels, are a whole team of people behind them, right? Even though they might have one person who is the official person, right? So he was the official face, but he had a team behind him, as is really common. Like, Mr. Beast is, he's the guy who's the face of it, but he's got a team behind him as well, right? All of these channels have teams. So he was sort of pushed out of this, and he was very, very upset by that, incredibly upset. And one of the points that was a very strong sticking point on all of this was that he is this Lamborghini. And I don't have a picture of his Lamborghini. It's on his Twitter. I'm not pulling it up, or his X, if that's what you prefer to call it, which I don't. But so the they have very different sides on this Lamborghini. He says that this Lamborghini is his, and that it's his Lamborghini, and that essentially what he's been claiming is that he was extorted out of it. Now, extortion is a heavy word because extortion is a crime. It's not like just, you don't just get extorted for nothing, right? Extortion is a crime. So, but he claims he was extorted out of it. Now, I haven't seen a whole lot of details on this, but his company claims that this is a company Lamborghini and that he was allowed to use it. But then when he was kicked out, that it was still company property. And so they're saying, listen, we're taking the Lamborghini and we're selling it because we because we don't want to own a Lamborghini anymore. That was the kind of thing you do as the face of this, but with you out, we're not going to be spending our money like that, because that is I've had the use of company cars before. Never a Lamborghini. I can tell you that. A Lamborghini as a company car is and when I say had the use of company cars, it was like a law firm had a car that was kind of a spare car for whoever wanted to drive it. And I can tell you it wasn't super nice. But so there's that. And there's also, for some reason, a love triangle involved on this. So Ben is married and appears to have been having an affair with somebody else. And so that's part of this as well, because this love triangle ends up playing in on this. And it's going to be interesting. So yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, why was he fired? It's not entirely clear. They haven't released full details, but it's not hard to imagine why he might have been fired, right? He's the public face of this company, and as the public face of it, you want him to be making sensible decisions. And so when we say sensible decisions, keep in mind that what they're promoting here is investments, right? They're promoting crypto investments. And I know crypto investments and sensible decisions go together like, I don't know, baby and lawnmower, but that's what they're pitching. So they're pitching these crypto investments and they want people to trust their word on it. And so it really doesn't help when he's having these very public meltdowns, including like picking a fight with the court, all of these things, right? His behavior on Twitter was very unusual and just, yeah. All right. Now, keep in mind, just about everybody in this story is going to be some variety of dirtbag. And the reason why is because this is the crypto world, which is really like, how you put peanut butter on a mouse trap to get them to, to get the mice to eat it? Don't use cheese. That's kind of a myth. Peanut butter works a lot better. Crypto anything, really attracts the dirtbags. And so, yeah, let's have a look. Now, there are a bunch of people who I expect to be trickling in here. I know Rob is still going. Hopefully they'll play catch up. But I suspect we'll get those people coming in afterwards. But I see people saying Runkle Coin. We are not doing Runkle Coin. We are not doing Runkle NFTs. I had some people ask me about NFTs. I had a company ask me to to sponsor them, or they wanted to sponsor me rather, and they were an NFT based product. They wanted to suggest that creators convert their video copyrights to NFTs. And I was like, no, we're going to do a stream mocking that instead. So, yeah, that is, that's kind of its own thing. Now, I'll also just talk about what we are sponsored by. We're sponsored by my own hot sauce. It's not really a sponsor because it's, because it's, my product here. I just finally got labels for this. And one of the criticisms of the labels that I actually quite agree with is that the writing is too wide. The everyone makes mistakes should be more visible without having to turn the bottle. So I'm going to shift that around. But this is now like a real product. So I'm going to order 100 labels for this. And we are going to, then at that point, I should be able to sell this here in Canada. Still no word on when I can sell it to the States. So if you are an American and you want this, you will have to probably have somebody ship you one or something. I don't know, but I can't send it there. Somebody's saying, how can we buy it? I haven't got that set up yet. I haven't got a final price point yet. I haven't any of that. But yeah, I'll keep you posted as that develops. But so far, this is an exciting development. So, okay, let's have a look at this one. We'll just give me a second. We're going to bring this up.
This is
Whoop, and I need to switch my headphones over. There we go. All right, so the quality on this is as good as I could find it. This was somebody shared it to us, shared it online. This is, as far as I can tell, the full video, but he has pulled this video down for fairly obvious reasons. I suspect his lawyer was like, "You need to shut this the heck down." So let's have a look. Let's watch, and I mean, as much as we are going to laugh at him, because there's plenty here to laugh at, we're also going to comment on the legality of his actions and the good sense of his actions, like whether this is advisable. So, all right, let's have a go.
where Carlos lives, guys. I am live streaming from Carlos's house. Carlos has my Lamborghini right here in his garage. So today, guys, I'm going to be live streaming and I'm going to be telling the entire story of Carlos Diaz.
Now, I'm just going to stop right here. First things first. If you have a dispute with somebody over finances or whatever, I'm just going to say right now, stay the hell away from their house. There is no reason to go to someone's house like that. And the other thing is he's got a substantial follower base, right? He's got a lot of people who watch his channel. And so now when he's going, I'm live streaming from Carlos's house. Well, guess what? They know where his house is now. He's basically doxed them. Of course, the funny thing is that he also doxed himself in the process. We'll talk about that as well. But let's also look at his demeanor here, right? Because he's showing up here. You'd think you might want to be calm and collected, because you're trying to show that you are the bigger person here and that you are the honorable person here. So do you want to be ranting and raving? Do you want to be all... And quite frankly, I think we should be looking at his behavior, because one of the questions I'd have about all of this is, were these good decisions brought to you by just, good old-fashioned skull that is like 4 inches thick on every side? Or were these good decisions brought to you by some sort of chemical assistance? because I'm seeing a guy who's very pink. He's very agitated. He's very excited. I don't know, right? We can't run a test on this guy, but he's seeming pretty weird, right?
Who Carlos Diaz is. I'm going to be talking about all the people he's affiliated with. I'm going to be talking about how he got into my building. I'm going to talk about all of it. Hope you guys are ready. He just answered the door. So I know this is him for sure. Right here. I'm not.
Now, I got to say, somebody does this on my house. I am locking the door. I am probably arming myself with something, and I'm not engaging. I'm waiting for the police. I'm staying away from any windows. I'm staying away from anything because this guy does not seem like he is in control. This guy does not seem like he is. This is extremely concerning behavior, right?
I'm scared of you, Carlos. I'm not scared. Guys, let me tell you. Are you ready?
Now, nothing says I'm not scared of you like showing up outside of somebody's house and yelling I'm not scared of you in some weird deranged rant. Yeah.
I'm gone out of town. I'm out of town. What happens? What happens when I'm out of town? Carlos comes and knocks on our door at Hit Network. Okay? The same man just came to his house. And Carlos says this. Hey, man. He says this to Justin and TJ because Justin and TJ were there and I was out of town. So here's what happens.
Now, I'm also just going to stop here for a moment here because he says, I'm not scared of you, Carlos, right? I'm not scared of you. Now, there's an interesting video here that we can play, and I'm going to need to hit it real fast on the mute. So this is him knocking on the door, apparently, and I'm going to run it on mute because there is music to it, and I don't want to get a hit for the music. But this is him knocking on the door saying, I'm not scared of you. So comes up, knocks loudly, retreats back, and runs away. So Carlos posted that, that video. And yeah, if you want to see the sound version, you'll have to check out Carlos's Twitter stream. But that is the, that is the I'm not scared of you is him, there we go. Is him making that run for it. Now you can also see from the ring cam, you can see that doesn't look to me like he's parked like parallel to the road. It looks to me like he is parked in a very haphazard kind of way. And I can't say for certain, but it looks like he's just kind of, parked at a weird angle there. So let's go back to Carlos here.
What occurs? Hold on one second. Let me put this up here. Hold on one second. One second. Hold on, I need to put something up. I don't think he's going to kill me.
Now, when he's doing that heavy breathing, one second, I'm like, oh God, gross. But he says, let me put something up. I don't think he's going to kill me. Now, he's saying this on a live stream. He's taking something out of his fanny pack.
I don't think he's going to kill me live on YouTube. Huh?
And he's setting it in the back of this truck. What do you think that something is? What do you think that something would be? This isn't my first watch through, but if it's your first watch through, I want to hear your guess as to what you think he might have taken out of his fanny pack to put in his car. Yeah, if you said gun, that was my thought too. So let's talk about just how freaking concerning this is. This guy has a financial dispute with somebody. straps up, conceals that firearm in his thing, knocks on the door while shouting, "I'm not scared of you." Yeah, I wouldn't have opened that door either. Like, yeah, this is a really good recipe for all sorts of trouble because there's all sorts of possibility that that goes really badly. But I will say bringing the gun was dumb. Showing up here at all was dumb. However, what was smart was actually getting rid of that gun right now. Taking that gun off right now was better. And yeah, people are saying, good Lord, he wanted to live stream a shootout. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking. However, I'm just going to see if we can get a good shot of his
the
face
point
here.
is,
Now, I don't know. The quality on this is pretty poor. It looks to me like his pupils are giant, and I can't tell for certain. I don't know. I have suspicions that he's flying on something, but I can't say. Oh, hey, EDB. I see a lot of police reports start like this. Yes. And the problem is a lot of police reports start like this both directions because you've got police reports that start like this and end with, and then, the guy who shows up with the gun shoots the homeowner. But there's also plenty of them that end with guy who shows up with the gun ends up popped in the skull. Lots of self-defense cases on that because, I mean, you've got this guy who shows up angry, ranting, screaming. He wants a confrontation. He's brought a gun. It's gonna be really easy to sell a self-defense shooting in this circumstance. If Bitboy had been shot through the door, there would still be an argument on this as to whether or not Bitboy is, whether he's properly, what do you call it? Whether or not this was self-defense, because I think you could make a real argument of, hey, like, is this actually, safe for this circumstance? So I don't know. I think this is a real awkward thing. Somebody's asked, is Emily joining? She's welcome to if she'd like, but I suspect she's got other stuff to do. I suspect she's popping in to check things out. So, but the other thing is, let's say he opens the door, they have a shouting confrontation, and Bitboy reaches into that bag of his. I think in most states that gets you to, they can shoot you. Yeah. All right. And yeah, I swear some people live to make themselves content for other creators. Don't do that. Live your life in a way that would be boring to talk about on a YouTube video. So, yeah, I worked for a police department, and this pretty much ends in a mag dump. Yep. So we're neighbors around to witness this insanity. They were. Oh my God, they were. Let's have a look at that too.
he comes to my building, knocks on my door. He says, man, I love Bitboy Crypto. Love Bitboy Crypto. Remember, I'm not there. Justin and TJ are there. Notice he didn't come out. He don't want to come out. Why?
Because you're sitting here shouting like a crazy person and you have a gun. You don't want to come out. Well, no kidding. Nobody in their right mind should want to go deal with the crazy person with a gun. And in fact, we hire people to do that who will show up with a group of people, all with guns, with body armor. They'll get here, and they're the appropriate people to deal with this. So, yeah. Ben is a guy that has nothing left to lose. Everything has been taken from him. That's why he's acting that way. Here's the problem. There's always more to lose. And I mean, Bitboy, let's say his financial empire falls apart. Let's say Ben Armstrong's financial empire empire turns to dust, right? Well, then at that stage, you're just going, um, okay, maybe he's got to go work again. Maybe he's got to go work at, maybe he ends up working at the McDonald's or the Chuck E. Cheese or whatever the hell else, right? Lots of people do that. And this guy could at least say, for, some glorious time, I had huge money. And if he's really smart, and we know he's not, we know he isn't really smart, because otherwise we wouldn't be watching this right now. But if he were really smart and you see that your financial empire is crumbling, you start downsizing hard right now. You sell your giant house, you sell your fancy cars, you sell all of that, and you put it into a fund to keep you going for however long you need. Bitboy Crypto could probably retire, and I mean, based on what he's bragged about his finances, he could probably retire and live a life as, comfortable as mine for the rest of his days. But he doesn't want to do that, right? So yeah, there is so much more for him to lose. He could lose all of that money that he could otherwise retire on. He could end up actually in jail. And all of these are things that he could lose. There is so much left to lose. But yeah.
Because of everything he has done, what Carlos has done. So, right here, bud. So the point is, he comes and he knocks on my door at work and says, I love Bitboy Crypto. I don't know if that's what he said or not. That's what Justin and TJ told me that he said. Justin and TJ told me that Carlos came to the door and said, hey, I love Bitboy Crypto. I want to be part of this. So what happens? He goes to Justin Williams.
Also, if you're going to go and do some crazy stuff in the street like this, you should really consider whether you're dressed in the way you want to appear in your mugshot. Because, like, the black muscle shirt, I mean, I guess he likes his beard look, but, is this really how you want to appear in your mugshot? But, because apparently it is. But, all of this is crazy talk, right? And he needs to realize that he's been acting in a way that has people really weirded out and sketched out by him. No kidding, people are going to dissociate with you. I can tell you, like, I'm really good friends with, Rob and Rick and Alita and EDB. And if I started, like, going on deranged rants or, like threatening lawyers or any of these things that he was alleged to have done, I can tell you that they'd probably be like, hey, you know what? Love you, but let's not talk for a while. Right? Let's just keep our distance. And that would be reasonable, right? Yeah.
And he says, hey, did you know I'm in real tight with Mike Will Made It? Okay? Mike Will Made It is a big producer.
Who that is.
Okay?
Okay.
He worked with Black Beatles, or Ray Schrimmer. Okay? Eardrummers,
Ooh.
some people call them. Mannequin Challenge.
Okay.
We also have Miley Cyrus, Wiz Khalifa.
Okay, now there's a couple of names I recognize. I was starting to wonder if I was just old here. Now keep in mind, I said like we should be trying to monitor. Does this guy seem like he's stable? Does this guy seem like he is flying on something? Chat, how high do you think this guy is? I think this guy right now is so high, the seagulls are worried he's going to crap on them. So
Mike Will Made It is a great producer. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say a lot of stuff about Mike Will Made It, but I don't believe a bit of it. I believe Carlos has made it all up. I don't think Mike Will Made It needs any hate for this.
I'm going to say a lot of stuff about him, but I don't believe it. What? When your sentences stop making sense, it is time to go and reassess whether you want to be doing what you are doing at that particular moment, especially if it's shouting like a crazy person while armed with a gun.
Or his dad. He was involved in this too. I think these are actually maybe good people. I talked to one of Carlos's associates, and they told me they had no idea he was doing this stuff. No idea he was doing this stuff. No idea. So what happens is, I got to keep looking over my back. I thought this is the guy that killed people. That's the guy that killed people. Where's he at? Here I am telling the whole story. So Mike Will made it.
Now, I just got to say, if you're sitting there in a residential neighborhood shouting like all of this stuff, I'm not afraid of you. I thought this is the guy that'll kill people. Do you think the neighbors are going, oh, this seems like a perfectly reasonable gentleman who's got a legitimate dispute? No, they're going, 911, there is a crazy person out here, and yeah, he's real crazy. Send 8 cops and somebody with the Huggy suit, because this guy's gone completely off the rails.
Invest in Vumio. Between Mike Will made it, between Carlos, and between Mike Will's father, they invested $1 million into Vumio. Or so I was told by the people that have been cooking my books the entire time, apparently, from what I'm understanding. Mike Will made it, according to Carlos, is a killer. Carlos says that Mike Will made it and his dad want me dead. They want to kill me. Okay? So he shows.
Now, none of this seems sensible. None of this seems sane. Somebody says, do you call 911 in Canada? You do, yes. Yeah.
In my building, he starts talking about all these people he's involved with. Explains to me that one of the first things Carlos does, well, at first he comes in, he's friends, went to a football game with me, went to a baseball. Waka Flocka comes to my building. Love Waka Flocka, great guy. I don't think he has anything to do with this. Love
the problem with the internet is you can't really tell
what I think from what I know.
Person's name is actually a name.
And I thought Carlos was a good guy. Turns out not. So what happens is they start bringing in all these investors. Every time he talks to me, he pulls somebody up on his phone. He's like, look at this person. I could get this in person invested in this. A lot of different people. He claims
and he's pacing.
That he works directly for the head of the Houston Mafia, which, guys, it's not a surprise. I'm not doxing anybody. It's James Prince. James, I have nothing against you. I don't know what you've done. I don't know what your association with Carlos is, but Carlos is out here telling people that you ordered him to kill people. Okay? Just so you guys know, Mike Will, Carlos is here on your behalf saying that you are telling him to kill me. Okay? Saying James Prince from the Houston Mafia is threatening to kill me. Or, I'm sorry, excuse me, that he's killed people for them. Okay? So the point here is this. Okay?
And this is the point I was about to make here, which is he even names some supposed gang mafia members from Houston. These people do not want to be mentioned in live streams. Yeah. This is a really bad idea. This is all sorts of bad idea. You know, I mean, the police already know who the head of various, criminal organizations is, but they don't really want to be on Bitboy Crypto's announcement. And so, yeah, now the people are saying, why is he doing this? Well, the reason why he's doing this is because he wants to, word to get out that these mafia members are talking too much, or that these guys are claiming to be mafia members when they're not, which also tends to annoy organized crime. If you've got a problem, you're not going to improve that problem by bringing organized crime into it. Bringing organized crime into your problem to try to improve it is a little bit like, you're making a stew and you're like, could use a little bit more salt, a little more tarragon, and I don't know, like an entire horse poop. Oh, God.
Is that what happens is Carlos just gets more and more and more involved in the daily business of what's happening, okay, with Bitboy Crypto and with Vumio specifically. Notice, what was the threat? What was the blackmail? What was the extortion that I was told that I needed to do in order to get my company back by Carlos. Not on that phone call, on a different phone call. All I had to do was walk back what I said about Justin Williams, and Fumio. And I will not do it. I did it then. Why? Because he threatened to kill me. Carlos threatened to kill me. A guy that works for the mafia threatened to kill me. Crypto Blood, you are such a bitch, bro. I cannot believe Crypto Blood goes on Twitter. Crypto Blood calls Carlos, or Carlos calls Crypto Blood and talks to him. And after Crypto Blood, I thought you were street smart, bro. Bro, I thought you had some smarts.
So you see, he's just like, he is ranting, he is pacing, he is, I don't know. And I mean, somebody else has a guess. I don't really want to diagnose somebody. You'd think that if that was the case, it would have shown up earlier, but he is just on a really weird rant here. His behavior is bizarre. And now he's trying to pick a fight with all of organized crime, right? Like, he's just like, are there any other people in organized crime that I could maybe make a fight with? So, yeah.
You don't in your body if you can listen to this scammer here, Carlos Diaz, the man that has my Lamborghini, the man that extorted me for my Lamborghini, the man who death threatened me, took my Lamborghini. This is who you're with. They told me that defensive end. Let me tell you what Carlos said. Charles Grant used to play for Georgia, played for the Saints. Charles Grant, apparently, Carlos told me that on the last day of the season, before you got your big contract, that Carlos paid off with the mafia one of the offensive linemen for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, I mean, that's a hell of an allegation. Not really specific, but I just want to note here, we actually got a little bit of a view of his park job. Now, this does appear to be like a cul-de-sac, but the back end of his vehicle is way out there. It's not like he's, T parking or something in this cul-de-sac, which also usually isn't permitted, but he is sort of parked at a weird angle. Like, that's going to be concerning, right? People are going to be wondering why you're not parked like a sane person and instead are just at this weird angle. All of these things get considered when they start asking questions about, like, hey, what the heck is going on here? So,
and on the last day of the season, the offensive lineman, because he was involved, they had leverage and they extorted him as well. He had to let Charles Grant get all these sacks at the end of the season. So what happens? Charles Grant gets the sacks, okay? And he has 5 sacks on the last day of the season. You guys look this up. I haven't looked it up. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just telling you what he told me, okay?
This is really a bad idea to start repeating because these things are kind of heavy allegations. And yeah. So, yeah.
So I hate to throw a Georgia dog under the bus, but he is a Saint. So sorry, Charles. Okay. Charles Grant's been in our building filming stuff. I know he knows him. Okay. Charles Grant, formerly of Georgia Bulldogs, New Orleans Saints. Okay. So what happens is that on the last day of season, the offensive lineman, because of extortion and leverage, and go look up when Charles Grant got his big contract, and you'll see what year it was. And our football fans, you guys can look it up. He tells me the offensive lineman, because of leverage, lets Charles Grant get 5 sacks, and it leads to him having an incredible sack tally. If you guys don't watch football.
So here's what I'm telling you, people, is that organized crime was involved in fixing a game, and here's their grand plan. I mean, this does not seem like the sort of thing I'd want to out publicly on a, because there's one of two possibilities. Possibility one, the game was honest, which is the very likely, which is kind of where I'm thinking, because I don't really buy anything Crypto Boy is telling us here at this point. I know it's Bitboy Crypto / Ben Armstrong / etc. But Possibility number 2 is you're right. And yeah, this would be the worst time to be correct about anything. So
having 5 sacks is hard to do for a season. He got it in 1 game. And then he got the biggest defensive end contract in history right afterwards. This is what Carlos does, guys. Crypto Blood is talking about, why are you scared of this guy? What he's talking about, oh, there's a death threat? There's a death threat to you? And there's no way you believe it. I will tell you guys what. Guys, I have legitimately been scared for my life for weeks. And when I told the people who I told I was coming over here, I said, come.
You know what I do when I'm absolutely scared of somebody? I show up at their house and do deranged ranting outside. Like that seems legit, right? That's just the way to deal with that. This is weird.
Hell or high water, if Carlos Diaz comes out of his house and tries to kill me live on YouTube, then it's just gonna have to be what it's gonna be, Carlos, because I am not scared of you anymore. Here I am on Berkeley Lane in Duluth, Georgia, in front of Carlos's house.
So he's really doxing the guy, right? Really doxing the guy. And somebody asked, do you think Carlos is watching the live? I mean, Carlos and Bitboy Crypto, or Ben Armstrong, because he's not Bitboy Crypto anymore, but Carlos and Ben Armstrong have basically the same audience, right? So do you think that somebody who knows both of them is not watching this and going, hey, you gotta see this stream, right? You gotta see what's going on. All right, carrying on here.
I go knock on the door, and you know what he does? He turns and he runs because he's a pussy. This man.
Now, keep in mind, did we see him run, or did we just see him not open the door and Ben Armstrong ran? Because I saw a different thing than he did. That's just my, and maybe I'm wrong, but I saw a very different thing there.
Has single-handedly brought down my entire business. This man, this is the one who TJ and Justin hired. Oh, no, I'm sorry, excuse me. He's not paid, because let's start getting brass tacks here. People were saying, Ben hired Carlos. No, guys. Carlos doesn't get paid by the company. He's in because of his investments. Carlos Diaz is not technically an employee of Hit Network or Vimeo. He acts on behalf of Justin and of TJ Shed. Justin Williams and TJ Shed. This is their guy. This is their...
I don't even know what he's doing right now. Like, I don't know what this rant is about. It is
guy, Carlos Diaz.
It's unhinged.
Okay? And what happens is he starts acting on their behalf because of his financial interest, because of his and Mike Will's investment into Vimeo. And they told me, Carlos told me, if I did not make that video walking back what I said about Justin when he pumped and dumped Bambi, and I got the text message. I'll show you guys a text message at some point where Justin begs me to pump Bambi and I say no. And you guys will see this is all true, everything I'm saying. It looks like it's 25 verse 1 here. Everybody that's with the company is on their side, and that's okay. Because guess what? All 25 of them are crooks. And people are starting to understand what has really happened here, okay? And the point...
Now, I'm just going to stop here and say, like, hey, listen, he's calling all of these people crooks. Bitboy, or Ben Armstrong, I keep wanting to call him Bitboy Crypto. Ben Armstrong has not exactly been free of allegations that his products are sketchy. So that is... that's been a fairly common allegation his way. So, that he is pitching stuff that he ought not to and so forth. So,
point is, Carlos Diaz works as an agent for Hit Network and for Vimeo, both of whom are getting sued by me. At every turn, Carlos has tried to pretend like he's my friend. He says, I'm your friend, but
Now, here's the thing. He says both of whom are getting sued by me. So he's telling us that he's in active litigation with these people, which means that he might have to testify, right? Now, let's say you want to testify in court. Do you want to be cross-examined on your behavior in this moment? Is this really what you want to have to answer questions about? Like, oh, you're saying you were forced out of your company for no reason. Let's roll tape. Yeah, he's just manufacturing evidence against him.
I love your channel. I love your content. Man, you made me so much money. That's what he says, okay? That's what he says. To try to butter me up, to make me believe he's on my side. Meanwhile, and look, let me talk about Altcoin Daily for a second, okay? I still can't believe Crypto Blood is such an idiot that he listened to Carlos Diaz, guys. Did you hear Carlos on the phone?
But you listened to Carlos, apparently.
Did you hear? It's organized crime. I just told you who he says he's with. He claims he works with the BMF, the Black Mafia. The Black Mafia, either the Black Mafia BMF has taken over my building, or Carlos Diaz is working solely and he's using his contacts within the Black Mafia to make it seem like he's someone significant, a significant player. He claims,
or
go look on Twitter. Go see the video that I posted on Twitter of Bob Arum, a boxing promoter, discussing what occurred when a bunch of thugs went into Floyd Mayweather's gym and beat up everybody in the gym with baseball bats. Okay, under the command of James Prince. And once again, that's public. I'm not doxing anything he's done. I don't know anything James Prince. I don't even know James Prince. I just know what he says. And I can't tell you that Carlos, by the way, guys, hey, James, Carlos is telling people who killed Takeoff, and he's also telling people who killed the guy who killed Takeoff. It's a lot of talking, guys. It's a lot of talking. And that's for you guys. He's got loose lips.
So he's trying to get Carlos killed here. He's like, that's what he's trying to do here. He's like, let me try to get these guys to, I'm pretty sure Carlos, if he's got a decent lawyer, and it sounds like he might, can certainly spin that to good end. So, yeah. Extremely
loose lips. He will say anything. He also said, let's talk about Maxine Waters. You guys know Maxine Waters, the congresswoman from California. Now I want to be very clear here. What Carlos told me is false, I believe. I don't think when you listen to how idiotic it sounds, this will make sense to you, okay?
So he's telling us both to believe that Carlos is in this gang and that he's super dangerous and whatever else. But he's also telling us that he thinks Carlos is a liar. So which is it? Pick a horse on this one. And I don't mean the kind of horse that, goes in your veins, because that might have been the choice. I don't know.
And guys, please, there is no cool, calm, and collected for me. I'm emotional.
No kidding.
These people have tried to destroy my life, and I'm standing up for it, and I'm saying, no more, Carlos! No more! I'm not accepting it. And the point is what he says, you have to understand what happened between me, and look how scared he is. He won't come out. He won't show his face. Okay? But the point is, he tells me, you have to understand what happened between me and Ben.eth. Okay? Of Ben's Bitcoin, and I had the loyalty, and I had the liquidity pool. Guys, it was an even exchange. Okay? Cassie, the Duchess of DeFi, everybody knows. The most elite and most exclusive, everybody knows. Okay? Cassie is talking with Ben.eth. Ben and I really get into it because, and I'll be honest with you, me and Ben are working things out behind the scenes. I have absolutely nothing against Ben.eth. Okay, hold on. I gotta watch out in case this is actually. I gotta make sure that I can get some protection if I need it. Okay.
So he's saying basically that
well,
he's
you guys see,
ready to go for
when I
his
see a
gun if
car
he has
coming down
to.
the street, I have to think about protecting myself. That's where I'm at, guys. This is not paranoia. This is not a crazy person.
You say that, but how would I tell the difference? Like, how would I tell the difference between you and a crazy person right at this particular moment? You know, if I had to, which criteria would I use to be, you know, to be sure on that one? Yeah. So that is, that's kind of a question here, right?
This is not someone who is erratic. This is not someone who is on drugs. This is someone
You look
who
like those
has
things.
been in the fear for his life for too long. And now, somebody just texted me, said they're going to call the cops. I will really enjoy the cops coming here.
Will you?
I really enjoy it. So the fact is,
now this is something
that
I have seen in so many videos where people are like, "Oh yeah, I'd love the cops to get here," and you know how many times that they actually do love the cops to arrive? Very few. That is not a common thing that people enjoy.
me and Ben are having problems. We're trying to work things out behind the scenes, and this is going to work into this politician. Okay, so the fact that what happens is Cassie is trying to negotiate with Ben.eth. Okay, you guys are good. Nothing to do with you. It's this guy. Thank you. So the point is what's occurring is Cassie's trying to negotiate with Ben.eth.
It's got nothing to do with you. It's this guy. At the point where you have to wave off concerned neighbors saying it's got nothing to do with you, you know somebody is already getting on that phone. You know that's going on. So this is the time to pack up and go, because when this tells us that he's got neighbors coming out, neighbors having a look at what he's doing, neighbors getting real concerned.
To make the exchange. That's all I want is the exchange. Yeah, I asked Ben.eth, could he send me some extra Ethereum for the reputational damage he caused me? I did. He'll tell you that. Ben.eth will tell you that. I asked for extra ETH. I think it was 300 ETH for the reputational damage that Ben.eth caused me. It was not extortion. It was an even trade. He sent the Ben coin. I sent the loyalty and the liquidity pool. And Ben said no to the other Ethereum. And we were trying, but we were still trying to work out an agreement. Cassie was in the middle trying to work out this negotiation between me and Ben. And what happens is the next morning I go into work and things between me and Ben.eth are extremely tense, okay? Now, all of this is gonna make sense to you guys here in just a minute. Everything that happened is gonna make sense. Guys, I don't have to be prepared because I'm just telling you exactly what happened, okay? So,
you need to be prepared because you're about to have cops all over you. Like, this is the point where any sensible person realizes that they are about to be knee deep in badges. And yeah.
Imagine if Carlos calls the police on me for standing outside of his house. I thought the mafia is not supposed to call the police. Maybe I could be wrong. So what occurs is that the next morning at work, Carlos comes to me and he starts getting very intimidating, okay? And he starts talking about all of the money that he's lost with Bitcoin.
Now, here's the thing. Maybe this Carlos is in fact this big gangster dude. I have my doubts. I kind of suspect that I kind of suspect that either Carlos has fed him a bunch of BS, or that Ben Armstrong is just such a big old pastry puff that he gets terrified over anything. So, and yeah, the thing is, he's like, oh yeah, this guy is, some gangster. I'm like, if he was actually the really scary gangster, then you might have some real issue with, because there's two options. First of all, organized crime probably has no problem calling the police on you when you're doing this. Like that's not going to slow them down. Second of all, the other alternative is just that like 4 cars pull up, somebody pushes you into one, and you're next seen like doing a little impromptu swimming lesson in the river. So yeah. Yeah. It's this is bizarre. And if I was his lawyer, I'd just be losing my mind.
Told me that he bought $300,000 worth of Bitcoin for Percy Miller. That's Master P. Okay? I know this is crazy, guys, but this is all true. And I don't know if he bought it for these people, but this is everything he's telling me. He's got all these people on speed dial. I have Master P's number. Okay? So he buys all this money for Master P, or all this Bitcoin, and the price plummets. The price is dropping. So he's mad. It's where he's getting I don't know where he's getting $3.2 million that he wants to not kill me over. But what he's doing here is he is basically setting up how much money he has lost. How much money he's lost because of Bitcoin. And of course, he blames me for it, but he actually blames Ben.eth. And he says this to me. He goes, Ben.eth's a problem. He said, I'm going to have to go solve that problem. That's what this man tells me. Remember, the death threats. So what occurs is he tells me, he says, hey man, there's no worries about this. We can definitely do this because I'm in with the FBI. He says, I have an FBI agent that works at the Atlanta office. I want you guys to think about how effed up all this is.
Yeah. It's, this is bizarre. This is verging on the insanity, the Corey Richens letter. This guy is going to have some serious issues. Could a lawyer place their own client under house arrest? We wish. We just have to roll with it. Do you take him as a client knowing this is out there? Sure. Put the money in. I want payment in advance. So yeah.
He says, I've got an agent at the Atlanta office named Rico. What a coincidence. When you look up Agent Rico, you can't find it because of the RICO Act. So what occurs is Rico comes back and says, man, this is a bad guy, this Ben.eth. He's lived in like 9 houses in 5 years. He's a bad, nobody would ever invest money with this guy, but he knows where he is. Carlos tells me he's going to go out there to solve the Ben.eth problem. Okay, now what does that mean? I don't know what that means. All I know is we're trying to negotiate, but he takes it into his, here come the police, guys. Here come the police. Here come the police. Here they are. Here they are. Here's the police.
Now look at his eyes. Look at the way he's like, what he's doing here. And is he having this moment of like, wait, this is maybe not going to go well? Is he starting to have some realization there? So yeah, it's I don't know if he's having this moment of of a clue here.
Police. Here's the police. Police are here, guys. So we'll have to talk to him here in a second.
That big sniff. Now he's like, you see, he's like, we'll have to talk to them here in a second. He thinks they're going to have a chat. He thinks they're going to have a casual chat with the cops. And that is, I don't think that's how this is going to go.
Here's the point. He goes out there. He doesn't even go out there. He pays someone to take pictures in front of Ben.eth's house. Okay. And then he tells them
Man, that would be
I
weird
better hurry up
behavior to go
quickly
to
here.
somebody's house.
He told me he went out there and roughed up Ben East, fought him and beat him up, and Maxine Waters, a politician, told him to kill Ben East with a fentanyl syringe. Hey guys. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, do me a favor.
Yep.
Hey, stop.
Hey, how's it going?
Stop.
Oh, him?
Stop.
Oh, stop. I couldn't hear.
You have a weapon on you.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
So
I have one.
So this should already tell him that he is not having the interaction that he was expecting, right? When they're saying stop, like, whatever else, it is very clear that they're having some issues here.
In my vehicle, but I do not have a weapon on me.
okay.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Take out your whatever fanny pack.
Sorry, I reached too fast. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Take out your
Sorry.
fanny pack.
Okay.
Put your phone down.
Okay.
Put
Okay.
your phone down.
Okay. I'll put the phone down. Okay.
Put the phone.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Now, at the point where the cops are starting to tell you that you need to take off your fanny pack and put the phone down, I probably would have stopped the recording. Then again, I wouldn't have been doing this in the first place. So, yeah. Such a headache here. Just such a bizarre thing. But
Put the fanny pack down.
Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on? This man inside of this house.
Actually, he's gonna check you real quick.
Absolutely.
Just the weapons.
I'm sorry. I have a. Okay. Okay. Yep. No weapons. No
Where
weapons.
in the car is your gun?
It's in the back seat.
Back seat?
Yep.
Is anybody else in the car?
Yes, there's somebody in the car.
Who's in the car? Who?
What's that?
Who's in your car?
Who's in my car?
Yes.
Okay.
now he's having the moment of regret. So who's in the car? Let's talk about who's in the car. Why is he having the moment of regret? He didn't think he'd have to put this on stream. He didn't think he'd have to tell us. You see how he's like, who's in the car? And he sort of tries to dodge the question, which they're not having. They're like, nah, bro, you got to answer that. And then he's like, and he looks down, like right now he's looking down at the camera going, crap, we're still rolling, aren't we? Aren't we still rolling? So, like, you couldn't get a better, you better sort of look at this than what he's giving us here, right? This, you couldn't act this out. So who is in the car? Well, it's not his kids, it's his mistress. It's the woman he's cheating on his wife with. She's in the car. Not his wife, because his wife probably makes better life decisions, like maybe a divorce in the near future. I just have that prediction. I have that prediction going on, but he's like, yo, we are in a throuple. And great word, by the way. Thank you, Law Talk with Mike, on that one. But what is it? And she is in the car. He didn't want to tell his fan base that one, but now they know.
Let's.
Who's in your car?
Who's in my car?
Who's in your truck, sir?
Cassie is in my car. Cassie's in my
All
truck.
right, Cassie.
And you see how he has, like, when he says that, he's not looking at the police. He's looking down at the camera, and he's like, oh, crap. I gotta tell the audience this one. So it's a very reluctant thing that he's telling the audience this one at this point. So yeah. Now, he left the gun in the car with this woman. So that's another consideration there. Oh, and hey, we got the Rob raid. Rob, you ran long. So yeah, he is not having a good moment here.
In my truck. My wife knows that we're here, by the way. She knows we came to do this. But my wife is aware. So we're live on YouTube right now.
Okay.
My wife is aware. That's not for the police's benefit, because the police don't give a damn whether or not his wife knows that he's stepping out with this other woman. And by the way, let's just have a little talk about good date night versus bad date night, because there's all sorts of options for like date night. Good date night might be, you know, going to see that movie you wanted to watch, or going to the theater, going to a burlesque show, going to, you know, sit in the park and, you know, drink non-alcoholic wine, because it usually isn't legal to drink alcoholic wine in the park. You know, going for a walk. All of these things are great, great date night ideas. What is a bad date night idea? Let's go shout crazily at a guy I've got beef with and commit us some crimes. Like if your date night ends in getting arrested. No, I didn't say handcuffs. Handcuffs might be a good date night. But if your date night ends in getting arrested, this is not a good date night. Oof.
We've got about 2,500 people watching. So Cassie is a girl I had an affair with. She's involved in the situation with me and this guy here. My wife knows. We were just at my daughter's tennis match. Cassie and I have came over here because this man is extorting me. He's death threatening.
So I was just at my daughter's tennis match with my side piece. This story gets bizarre. Now keep in mind as well, he's gonna potentially face a jury on this, right? And the jury's gonna watch this video. What do you think juries tend to think about? I was out committing crimes with my side piece. Because juries don't tend to be super forgiving about, juries don't tend to be super forgiving about, well, really any sort of difference. Juries tend to be old, because when you're thinking about like who can get out of jury duty, old people tend not to have jobs that they're going to miss. It just is it's one of the reasons why juries tend to slant older. The other thing is that juries tend to be fairly conservative, because lawyers rule out all sorts of anybody who's got anything unusual, right? One of the things a lawyer wants in a jury is a predictable outcome, right? They want we want to have some idea of how this jury is going to think. And so you're much more likely to get pulled off of, like, to be peremptory challenged on a jury, to be kicked, knocked out, if you look odd. And I mean that I don't mean that in a pejorative way. It just is what it is, right? You show up with several facial piercings and pink hair. You're much more likely to have a lawyer say, not this person. Just is what it is, which means you tend to end up with a conservative slant to them. But yeah. And this is a fair comment. I don't like, somebody says that they don't like, calling her the side piece. That's a fair comment. I don't know what's going on here, but it is bizarre in this circumstance. I rarely say this, but I'm rooting for the cops in this situation. I will say that the cops appear to be behaving very, very professionally here. They're doing a great job. My blue hair has nothing to do with your cognitive ability. It's not about your cognitive ability. There are plenty of lawyers who will say that they will reject a potential juror if they think that potential juror is too smart. That's not because they're, it's not a rejection of cognitive ability. And I'm not bashing anybody from alternative lifestyles. I'm not saying that they're worse or anything like that. I'm just saying that they make lawyers picking a jury nervous. That's it, right? It's not that you're bad or anything else like that. It's just the question of, does this lawyer feel confident and comfortable with you being on the jury? And the thing is that maybe not. And again, not because they think that you're going to be like dumb or anything like that. It's just, do they think they understand you? Keep in mind, lawyers are primarily boring, right? Lawyers are typically wealthier than the average person. Lawyers are typically tend to come from fairly comfortable lifestyles. So this is just a fact of how juries get constructed. So, yeah.
Me? He stole my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini is in his garage right now. In his garage.
Now, I'm just going to say, if you're a cop and you roll up and you see this crazy person out out there yammering and shouting, and he says, my Lamborghini is in this guy's garage. What are the odds you think this guy actually has a Lamborghini? I am going to say 0. What is it? At least Ruckle didn't call her a homewrecker. No. He's the homewrecker. People love to blame the party who was like the extra party, and it's like, no, they're not the one who made a promise. They're not the one who anything. It's the guy who's in the relationship who's the, so yeah.
All right, get over here.
Okay, absolutely. Okay.
Now, I just got to go back just to see.
Who's in the car? Who?
What's that?
Who's in your car?
Who's in my
That's too far back.
we were just at my daughter's tennis match. Cassie and I have came
All right,
over
I got to
here
see this
because
part
man
here. I got to
is
see what's
extorting
going on
me.
here.
Come over here.
He's death threatening me.
Come over here.
He stole my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini is in his garage right now. In his garage.
All right, get over here.
Oh, so the reason why I went back was just to see who messes with the phone, because I thought maybe Ben Armstrong. I thought maybe he went and said, you know what, this is a little too spicy for my viewers. I'm going to stop the recording. But it's not. It's the cop who comes over and turns this thing over. So I don't know if that's the best. If I was the cop, I wouldn't touch his phone. I would just leave it being. If it's recording, then it's recording, and that's just evidence. So, yeah. That was the cop. And I guess the cop doesn't like him playing to it, because then, that might make him do something odd. So, yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Okay. Where? Is he in the back? Yes, he's in the back.
So I can guarantee you, when the cops see this crazy person, like this guy who's behaving very weirdly, and they hear that, there's this other woman in the back, they're probably going, is she okay? I suspect that they're right now looking into investigating whether she's all right, whether she's there willingly. And keep in mind, if you are ever this person, you have, she's got a very strong incentive to claim not to be there willingly. Why? Because do you want to get connected to a crime? So she may have a very good reason to say, no, I was here against my will. And you might say, oh, well, she'd never do that. People lie. It happens. So it happens. And yeah. So that is that's a concern. So if I was him, like, don't bring other people along for your crimes. Yeah, and this is a good point. Most cops don't have an issue with recording. They do have an issue with live streams. They can be dangerous. You don't know who's watching or if they may turn up armed to the teeth. Yep, that is true. So, yep.
Where's he at? This side or this side? I'm not sure.
Which side is she on? They're really concerned here.
You're nuts. You know weapons. He's supposed to be with black mafia. He's extorted me. He's giving me death threats. We have police report. Look at this. And yeah. And can I make a police report? We got you. Okay, sure. Sure. All right, good. You're right there. YouTube knows you're with me now. I had to say it on YouTube. I had to.
YouTube knows you're with me. He's got to apologize to her. She didn't want to end up on stream. She didn't want to end up on the stream. He has, in doing this, he's betrayed his girl. And that's not a great thing because she is also going to be necessary as a witness. And now she's pissed.
They kept asking me. I had to say it. It's fine.
She's unhappy about that at all. Now, somebody made a good point, and I want to go back and listen carefully to it. So we're just listening to the background here.
He's supposed to be with black mafia. He's extorted me. He's giving me death threats. We have police report. Look at this. And yeah. And can I make a police report? We got you. Okay, sure. Sure. All right, good. You're right there.
So that sounded like handcuffs, maybe.
I had to say it on YouTube. I had to. They kept asking me. I had to.
They're not, I'm afraid.
It's fine.
There's that weird sort of hissing, pumping noise. And somebody said that they thought that seemed like a blood pressure cuff. That makes me wondering if they were if they're taking his blood pressure, they're concerned about his behavior, right? So they say, I'll be right there, ma'am. And he's like, no, you need to go after, Carlos. Carlos is the guy you've got to be going after. And they're like, is it though? Is it? Because we think the problem is the people being crazy people in the street, not, not Carlos. And this is always the case. Like when you go out and if you provoke a confrontation by shouting in the streets like this, the police are probably not going to assume you are the, oh yeah, no worries about this guy. Like, I don't know what he's thinking of here. And yeah, people are noting that there are cicadas or crickets or whichever it is. Yeah, Sir Carlos is allowed to be in his house.
No worries. Okay, so it's a long story, but basically I'm a YouTuber. What brought me here today is basically.
So long story, but I'm a YouTuber. They're like, we don't care. What the hell is going on? That's what we want to know.
Tell Carlos I'm not scared of him. He's threatened to kill me. He has basically stole my Lamborghini's in his driveway. He stole it. He stole my Lamborghini. So what happened is he gave me a death threat. Told me if I didn't sign it over to him on my it was supposed to be kind of like, well, what's supposed to be my company since it's my name. My company sent him to my house in order to sign over the Lamborghini, and then he stole it. Under duress, I signed it. The Georgia Department of Revenue has already frozen the title. You guys can look this up. They froze it.
Okay, so he's going through the details here, and this is also like he's involved in litigation over this, right? He's involved in a potential lawsuit over this, and he's saying, "Oh, they've frozen the title. Here's the background of why, how it ended up being transferred over and so forth." And I'm going, dude, this is all getting recorded, and if one of the things about why defense lawyers say to shut up is not just because you're going to say something stupid, although it is also because you're going to say something stupid. Like, let's not rule that part out of it, because that is definitely part of it. But it's also that anything that you say, you have to say exactly the same the next time, right? Because if you say it and it's different the next time, they're gonna cross-examine you. They're gonna grill you on that. So, yeah.
Title of the Lamborghini because I signed it under duress. This man has my $350,000 Lamborghini in his garage, and I'm not breaking in. I'm not trying to get it, but I'm here to let him know that I know that he has my Lamborghini and it's stolen, and I would like to file a police report right now about the Lamborghini and explain the entire situation.
Sir, they're not here to take your police report. Like, if you want to file a police report, there's a great way to do that. It's you go down to the police station and you file the police report, well, dressed in, your best clothing and not looking like a crazy person. Whereas when you're showing up with, this crazed ranting that has got the neighbors all upset, and you're shouting and, whatever else, and you've told them you've got a gun in the car. You've told them, "Oh, I'm here with my mistress who, she's in the car." The cops right now are just trying to figure all this out, but they have not put you in the category of, you're not in the category of people who they trust here. Ooh, and we've got a guest.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, man. Have you seen this video?
Mm-hmm.
It is like, as a criminal defense lawyer, this video makes me so glad that this is not any of my clients.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to make some criminal defense lawyer very yacht.
Very frustrated.
Well, I mean, that the lawyer is going to watch this and just be like, "So, I think your retainer is probably $75,000.
I mean, you're not even at the good part yet. Did you get to? No, you're not there yet. So, has he been cuffed yet?
I think they've cuffed him because they've got him. I heard what I thought was cuffing in the background there. So, yeah. Let's see let's see it here.
We already gone to the police department about the death threat, and I wanted to come here and file the police report. So after I was done live streaming, I was going to call you guys to come out so I can file the police report because Lamborghini's here.
No, you should have done that before the live streaming. In fact, instead of the live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Like, I gotta say, folks, I enjoy live streaming. It is not a solution to your problems. Whatever your problems are, live streaming doesn't solve them.
this is a bad place to do. Like, literally murder. Look him up. There it is.
I heard there he is. Who's he referring to? It's hard to make out now because the crickets are super loud. They've moved too far away from the camera. Walk back to the camera.
Making my life a living. And I did not have the gun on me. The gun was in the truck. I had protection.
I mean, but you had the gun within, like, immediate grabbing distance, and you said you did. Like you said you had it in immediate grabbing distance. Let's talk about possession in terms of the legal concept, right? Because there are so many laws that that hinge around possession.
Like, you mean
possession
what he has?
Yes, like, you know, real common circumstance. Like the cops raid a house, you're living in that house. The cops find a kilo of heroin in a safe. The question is, do you have possession of that heroin? Because if you do, you're going to get a very lengthy stay at government expense in their least fine hotels. So you're going to have questions of whether or not you're in possession of that or versus not. Same thing with guns, right? Possession doesn't just have to be on your person. You can possess things that are not on your person. In fact, we do this all the time. I've got some Caesar in a can. They're not on my person. They're not in my hand. They're down there. I am in possession of them. All right, now it's in my hand. So, when he's like, this thing is just, it's not on me, it's over in the truck. It's like, but your own video establishes that you had it kept there ready at hand and that you considered it sufficiently accessible to go to in the event that something had like went down. So, yeah, you're in possession of the gun. Now, now I see somebody in the chat saying possession means ownership. Not really. You can own stuff that you don't possess. For example, let's say Rob is like, hey, I really like your mic. I want to try it out. So I'm like, sure, I'll lend you my mic. And I send it to Rob. And, you know, we both agree it's a loan, not a gift. You know, he's going to give it back in a month. I still own the mic, but I don't have possession of the mic because there's no way I'm going to go down to Rob's house and grab this mic from him, right?
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea to show up at somebody's house uninvited and by surprise to take property back. Oh, right. Now we're back full circle. But if you have it right at hand, you can also have possession of stuff that you don't own. And people do that all the time. For example, possession of stolen property is a charge here in Canada. It's a charge in most places. You're possessing something, you don't own it. But like if I steal somebody's car, I'm in possession of that car, but it ain't my car.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says, who owns the yellow tie? I don't think we're going to litigate that question.
Nope.
That doesn't seem like a question to take to the courts. So, all right.
Yeah. Just asking why. I've got text messages like on behalf of my company saying that like he's going to release my affair if you don't do what he says. And he's saying about 12 o'clock. Like it's bad stuff he's done. It's felonies. What's happening here is I'm in this and I want to come make a video in front of Carlos's house. So
I was coming to video in front of his house.
I'm not scared of it, and I thought he may come out and we could ask a question when he did. So I just right after. I did not. I went outside his door to make sure it was him. He opened the door, or he started opening the door. He walked up to the left, and I came right back up.
So he started opening the door and then he left and, whatever else. Now, I just want to note here, this conversation that they're having is actually incredibly legally significant. We'll get to why, but it's really important that they're having this discussion with him.
As I was walking over, I tried to look and see my Lamborghini. That was it.
I tried to look for my Lamborghini. They don't believe that there's a Lamborghini here. I can guarantee that.
I saw that you can't see inside, and so I went to the door because I wasn't going to do this in a place where I didn't want to do this to a random person who wasn't really his house.
Now, here he's acknowledging that he's doxing a random person, right? He's acknowledging that, or he's acknowledging that he's doxing this guy to cause damage, right? To cause stress. I think that's actually a pretty big problem for him. We're, at least in terms of the culture of the internet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I think that this tells us that he knows he's behaving badly. And I'm going to do Bitboy a solid here, just that he doesn't do anyone else when we get to that. And, yeah, let's keep going.
I just bought it a couple weeks ago. I haven't done it. I haven't gone other than out to the door. I'm on the property.
Stop talking.
I'm just making a video. That's all I'm doing.
Stop talking.
Oh, everything he says is making it worse for him.
To make a video, you can go and you can see it on Twitter. I literally said, I'm going to
Nope.
special location.
Nope. Don't look at Twitter. Don't look at Twitter.
You can go on Twitter. That's where there's additional evidence, officers.
Don't look at Twitter. Don't look at Twitter.
You can, here's where you find the extra evidence to convict me. If you don't think there's enough to convict me based on what I'm saying here now, here's where the rest of the evidence is. Isn't that great, officer? I'm being so helpful.
And tell the story of this dog. Extortion. No. He didn't even open the door. He came to the door and he started opening it. And he didn't.
And then he realized that there was an armed crazy person outside?
And he walked away. And he knew he was gone. He knew I knew where he is. He even tried to intimidate me and my family and my business.
And the thing is this is making it worse. He came to the door. He started to open the door. He didn't, he closed the door. He didn't open the door. Oh, so you know that he is concerned about your behavior, that he's worried that you are being a crazy person. Let's lay that out for the cops because, yeah.
And I'm just here to say I'm not scared. That's what I'm here to say. And if you go watch the video, is still going live right now. So I should probably turn it off. But you can go watch that video. I'm just telling you, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Yeah, tell the story, please. That video is none of your There was a time where a car came through right there, and instead, I was scared that it was going to be private because of the mafia. Instead, no. So
Because of the mafia.
As the car was coming, just make sure that if I needed it, if someone's going to shoot at me, I can be protected. That's legal.
So he just told the officers, I kept the gun in the truck so that I could be sure that if I needed it, I could go get it. Oh, why are you telling the cops this? Oh my God, that's such a stupid thing to tell the cops.
Correct? No. He never even saw it. And even when I got it, on the video, you can see where I said, I have this for protection because I don't know what's going to happen. Sure thing. watch what he'll say. Somebody say you got a gun on the video. Oh, okay, I literally set up the video. I have it in section, and I didn't even pull it out. I just raced into the car and watched the other car to see what was gonna happen. Okay. Can we turn the live stream on? We can. But it just is that space? Turn my
Can we turn the live stream off? He's asking now. It's like, oh, son. The time for that was a long time ago.
That was a thought that you should have had at least an hour ago.
Yeah, it's like, oh. And somebody said, like, don't do anything with a gun that you wouldn't do without a gun. I'm a big proponent of the self-defense tips that are the rules of stupid. Have you heard of this one?
No, but I'm pretty sure I could probably fill in the gaps, but please do.
Don't do stupid things in stupid places at stupid times with stupid people. And these are basically fundamental rules to not need to defend yourself, because so many people who end up in self-defense situations were people who violated those rules, right? Because I mean, even Rittenhouse, and Rittenhouse absolutely clean self-defense shooting, but he was in a stupid place.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the people he was with were stupid people.
Yep.
Both on his side and the other side. Stupid people around that. I can't say that what he was doing was necessarily stupid things, but it was definitely stupid place, stupid time with stupid people. And
I wouldn't have advised it. Like, that's the thing. Like, you wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody's like, hey, you know what? I want to go to a riot.
No.
Yeah. Also, where does one put don't bring your mistress with you for the nonsense? I am just like, what in the world? And the part I love best is when his mistress is there, like, and he's going, I'm sorry, I had to tell the live stream you were here because the cops weren't going to let me not say it. And so she didn't want to end up on this live stream. She was just along for the ride. Oh, I think they're going to have a talk later on. I think it's going to be an angry talk. It's going to be a real angry talk. The DA, the general rule was don't be where you, and now I've got anticipation. Don't be where you're not supposed to be. That's a good rule. I mean, there's a time and a place to break just about every rule, but you got to be really aware of it. And this is the wrong thing. Was bring your mistress to prison day. I actually think she is, she's probably better off. He totally didn't need to drop her name. I gotta say, if I'm sitting there and I'm dealing with the cops, I'm probably going, you know what? Can I turn the live stream off and I'll answer all of your questions? I just don't want to answer them for, I think he said 2,500 people. So, I mean, we're more than half that, so that's good. All right.
I was kind of making a joke, but it's
I was kind of making a joke. Don't make jokes, sir.
No.
Wrong time.
because I just stepped out today.
Oh, they keep moving further and further away from the mics, and the crickets keep getting louder and louder. I hate these crickets so much. Is there any way to get them to arrest the crickets?
we have a on the books confidential lease ring. I told my wife, she's gonna put me under contract. I need $2.2 million to have that on the books. If you like, whenever we get back to my phone, I have the solution number. If I look up,
He told my wife he was going to put me under concrete.
yeah, let's see video about it. I don't know.
Somebody's saying send this to a sound editor and have them filter the crickets and up the voices. Crickets are hard to filter.
I understand that. I'm like not about so I found out today that my $400,000 Lamborghini is in his garage. Okay, so the long and short of it, he's a master fucker. He's an extortionist. He's worked with people to try to get my entire. They locked me out of my entire business. We're like out of in court now. They locked me out, and they went and they filed a police report. And the police were like, oh well, we don't litigate. They don't. If I bring an operating agreement to you at a business, you're not going to be like, well, let me really look into this operating agreement and see exactly who owns the business. So
If I bring an operating agreement to you at a business, you're not going to be like, let me look into it, he says. This is great for cross-examination on a civil file.
together with my business partner, 33%. Another guy that owns a company in my building will be able to
You know who is going to clean up this audio?
Prosecution.
Prosecution, the counsel on his civil file.
We have a police report Thursday. I have a text message. We're like, I'll just tell a story. I would also like to call a police report since Liberty's here. On that Thursday morning, which is about 2 weeks ago, Carlos sends my wife a text message.
Yep.
That says, your husband has had an affair. We can keep this a family matter. He needs to make a statement by 12 o'clock and then basically makes a bunch of implications, like blackmail, right? So I decided I've got a lawsuit this pending. The title, I'll get to that. Right. But I'll tell you exactly.
It's bad when the police are asking him a question and he says, I'll get to that. Because when you're in the position of trying to explain to the police your BS and you get to the no, wait, there is too much. Let me sum up. You are in a bad situation.
Oh no, you just quoted Princess Bride.
Of course I did. Princess Bride is awesome. Yeah.
It's too much. Let me sum up.
Exactly. So, wait, did he just say they were blackmailing him with the affair? I think that blackmail material may have sailed as like its value may have diminished as blackmail material, given that it's now out there, super out there.
This, I'm trying to explain this. Like, you have to understand how the title relates to what on Thursday morning, he blackmails me. And he ends up, then tells my wife I have this affair, right? And so, me and my wife talk, and I say, look, he wasn't really stable as well. We need to take a lawsuit from me. Like, so you need to call him and see if there's any way possible that he will delay this lawsuit. Or, excuse me, that he will delay me telling you, and we can drop the lawsuit on purpose, okay? It doesn't work because my lawyer's put the lawsuit up until late that day, and or maybe then I better do whatever. But when my wife calls him, she tells him, because what we have a compact police report. She told him, he told her, he was going to put me under the ground for if I didn't pay him $3.2 million. The exact words were, I'm going to put you under the pump, or
I'm going to put you under the ground if you don't pay me several $1 million.
He invested in something I'm involved in, and he lost a lot of money in the investment. And that's why he's mad. And that's why he orchestrated all of this stuff. And so that's very important because he tells me the next thing, he tells me that night I count out. I tell them all So the next day, they said, Carlos, I'm under death threat and arrest, and you guys can find out, like, I'm really scared for my life. Like,
I'm really scared for my life at this point. And this is the first time the police are hearing about it. Really doesn't go well, because the police typically, when they hear I'm scared for my life, they expect that you're calling the police, not going to the guy's property and having a rant. Normally you don't have like a little meltdown when you're afraid of people, like in their front yard. This just doesn't make any sense here.
this guy claims to have killed people. There's a clip on YouTube of Bob Arum and Floyd. I know this sounds crazy. Bob Arum, the boxing promoter, and Floyd Mayweather on ESPN.
Yes.
Apparently, and I think it was 2003 maybe, Carlos shows me this clip and says, this ESPN clip is talking about him. He goes into Floyd Mayweather's gym and beats everybody up with baseball bats and there's blood everywhere. Now, did he actually...
What the hell is he talking about?
He's come back to this several times. He goes into Floyd Mayweather's gym and beats everyone up with baseball bats.
What?
Like, why? It just is so weird. So weird.
So you have to understand, these are credible threats. This is not me. This is not.
These are credible threats, which is why I'm ranting in his front yard.
This is literally a member of the Black Mafia who is involved with all kinds of, like, Native, Waka, 50 Cent, what? He's in with all these people, okay? So I'm scared for my life. He tells me that inside of my own building there's all these sexual harassment allegations. And to settle that, I have to give over the Lamborghini so the business can sell it to pay off these allegations. Or these lawsuits, which these lawsuits don't exist, by the way. It's all made up. I signed the title under duress. That means the contract is invalid. The contract is invalid, and the Department of Revenue...
Oh.
Yeah, he's saying that the... he's saying, like, you know, I signed this Lamborghini over, but it was under duress. I'm just going to say duress rarely works as a reason to rescind a contract. Rarely works. Now, there are times, and to be fair, if he establishes they were threatening to kill me, then that
might be one of those times.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you generally what you'd want to do is go to the police early on that stuff. Yeah, he signed over the car. The dispute at this point is, who does this car own to? Or who does this own to? Who does this car belong to? Because he says this is his car. The company says it's a company car that he was using because basically they say he was kind of overspending and because I feel like that really establishes an I was overspending on stuff if you have a company Lamborghini. Rob, do you have a company Lamborghini at the new firm?
No.
Do you have a company car at all?
No.
Company cars are getting pretty rare.
They are.
I worked for a place that had a company car, but it was really just the boss's, like, a car he had. But he had the keys up on the hook. It was just like, take it whenever you want it. But yeah, it's. I guess that's the closest I've had to a company car. All right, we're almost through this one, and then there's some additional shenanigans.
Why?
Because he can't stop himself.
Has frozen the title as evidence. So, yes, he did feel. He asked me.
I have frozen the title as evidence, sir. That's not evidence. That's just you did a thing. That's not going to be evidence of anything. So, good luck.
If I would sign it over, I tried to tell him no. He basically told me that wasn't an option. They call us cats. Yeah. We already 36 hours before he said 36 hours he said he should. Yes, we called the police. We told him. We told him he gave me a death threat. Yes, there's a report for that. Yes, do you want, I can get the numbers on my phone. Okay, no longer than
Okay, so they're letting him get his phone. That's why this ends. So now we hear the footprints. What does he do as soon as he's got the phone? He shuts off the stream. I bet he was wanting to do that a while back.
Popular vote says yes.
Yeah. All right, so let's we do law here. Let's talk some law. Because he faces a couple of charges. So I guess the first one I will put up here is let's bring up his booking thing. And I just want to make sure that I'm not putting anything on here that I shouldn't.
Have you pulled his Twitter yet?
What's that?
Have you pulled his Twitter yet?
I haven't.
In the last 3 hours?
Oh, his Twitter keeps being delightful.
No, you need to.
I will pull that up.
Really need to.
But we got this.
No, I mean now.
Okay, I'm pulling that up.
It is so much worse than you think it is.
Yeah, this guy has a bit of the diarrhea of the face.
Everything.
And yeah, he.
Do you remember the last time that we went back and forth with this guy?
Oh, I do. And he had some thoughts.
He had a lot of thoughts.
Oh, has he discovered that I'm talking about him?
No, he might.
Oh, that's a shame.
And if he does, he's going to be really upset.
Aw, Muffin.
I know, but it's okay.
But this is his booking information, and I'm doing him a solid. I have redacted his address. However, me redacting his address doesn't do much for him because this is on a public-facing webpage now. He, by his own actions, put his address to a degree where it's super easy to search, and plenty of people have shared this online without the redactions. So, yeah. Let's pull up his Twitter, I guess. This is going to make me hurt, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I already think maybe I don't like this.
No, I'm happy. I want your reaction.
All right. So he's taking a week break from social media. That's a great start.
Oh, nope. Don't get excited, Ian. Don't get excited. Don't get excited.
Well, I mean, it's a good start. Him and Crypto Blood have no issues going forward. Now, I'm wondering, because he was released on bond, did his bond conditions say don't speak to Crypto Blood? Because if they did, then he's already in some serious crap for putting that on Twitter. Still going to do my first interview with Rice, but I have to hold back a while due to my lawyer's request. Has nothing to do with last night, but going forward, I can't talk about it until I can. I feel like it may have to do something with last night, or your civil suit, or all the things. I'm sorry to Altcoin Daily and Crypto Wendy for what I said yesterday. I've been upset with things they've chosen to do in this situation. However, it's not worth losing friends over. The fact that I have so much PTSD from TJ that even a slate feels like a gaping wound. Ooh. And by tomorrow, I mean today, because I've been up all night because I'm a hardened criminal loiterer. Oh, God. So, Yeah, the reason why I brought up the thing is to note that he was charged with 2 things. 1, loitering / prowling, and 2, simple assault by placing another in fear. So we'll go over those charges, but you don't want to post, "I'm a hardened criminal loiterer," when you are charged with loitering. Juries and judges have this habit of not understanding sarcasm. In all serious, I'll be back on the show tomorrow like normal. I have PTSD from what TJ has done to me. My company's been stolen. I was extorted for my Lambo. Oh, good. Put motive out here. I'm angry about all of it. Beyond angry. Ooh, that's bad. The only thing exceeding the anger is the hurt. What else has he got to say here? I may have been excited and sounded a little crazy, but literally every word is true. What I said last night, but I could have delivered it better and in a different setting. Ooh. I was not on drugs, lol. I was on adrenaline from facing my bully finally. Did that adrenaline go up your nose? Is that the kind of adrenaline it was? Because it seemed like that might have been nose adrenaline. Going forward, I will only be discussing what has occurred, not what I'm doing legally. You shouldn't discuss any of that, sir.
We've talked about him before.
Yep. I'm going to let that play out. And the juicy gossip everyone cares about, but isn't your business. I'm married. I love my wife. I love my kids. We're not getting divorced. Hey, pro tip. If it's not our business, stop live streaming that shit. Also, my uncle TJ and his goons created a world for me where I was close to suicide, like I had a gun in my hand. Okay, that's a great thing to say. I have guns and I've been suicidal. That's the kind of thing that might come up in a bond hearing, say. Hey, this guy's got guns and he's got nothing to lose and he's got a grudge against these people. If you let him out, someone's gonna die.
I said nothing of the sort.
Ugh, they were willing to push me that far. They wanted to break me and Cassie up desperately. Why? No, not because of an affair. No, not for the sake of my family. They wanted to break us up because Cassie was the one pushing lawsuits while I wanted to mediate. As you can see on the calls the other night, TJ was never willing to mediate. He cut me off from the company and then tried to dig around for stuff I may have done wrong, like, say, criminal offenses. But Cassie finally broke through to me when she told me not to negotiate with terrorists. Like, say, people who show up on your front lawn with a gun, like those kind of terrorists. Yeah, that is not good. Uncle Tim, TJ, and the Goon Squad knew that Cassie and I are more powerful together than we are apart, as their 2 targets. They tried everything to break us up, including trying to frame her as the person who was leaking information to TJ/Goon so I wouldn't trust her. If you could only hear how pathetically bad of a liar my Uncle Tim is. But he threw everything but the kitchen sink at breaking us up. Once again, not because we were having an affair or because he cared about my family, but because it would make it easier to steal my company. But their plan worked. It sowed seeds of dissension between Cassie and I. I started not trusting her, and it was hard. Until I figured out my own flesh and blood Uncle Tim was the narc. Remember, I just paid $100,000 to go on his bucket list hunting trip to Alaska last year. It was for him, and he still stabbed me in the back. I don't have $100,000 to go on a hunting trip. And if I did, I would probably, I enjoy hunting. If I had $100,000 for a hunting trip, I would not spend it on a hunting trip. Here is the point. And listen, I understand if some of you won't get it. I am not getting rid of Cassie, period. My own friends and family lied and manipulated me in the worst ways to accomplish their goal of breaking us up. And I will never give them what they want. Never. So me, my wife, and Cassie are trying to figure this out. We're all grown adults capable of making our own decisions. We don't need any of you to help us with that decision. So please butt out of my personal life as it relates to my relationships. Maybe don't bring her to the crime scene, sir.
No, Ian, that's too complicated. You can't. You can't suggest something that common sense. What fun is that?
Yeah. um, I I think there's going to be some real interesting conversations going on around this. And Rob, I think this file here, this case, is probably going to end up in your neck of the woods as a family law
Why?
dispute.
Oh, it might. It might. But I'm no interest in talking to this individual as a client.
Oh God, I mean, really, this is the kind of client that you need to put a tremendous amount of retainer up front for. Like, yeah, we'll start at 75 grand as your opening retainer. So, yeah. All right, let's look at his charges. So he's been charged with loitering or prowling, which is a misdemeanor. So not the worst thing, but it is good enough to arrest him to, to get him out of that area. So a person commits the offense of loitering or prowling when they fail to embiggen the screen so that people can read the actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is like a crime. When he is in a place at a time or in a manner not usual for law-abiding individuals under circumstances that warrant justifiable and reasonable alarm or immediate concern for the safety of persons or property in the vicinity. Like, say, you're out there screaming like a crazy person going, I'm not afraid of you, Carlos, and wandering around ranting and raving and whatever else. So that is, I feel like they've got a pretty good case on that aspect. I suspect they're going to have neighbors who said, you know what, this guy made me concerned for like whether or not this was, whether or not there was safety here, whether or not there was, concern there. So the next aspect to it, and this is why I said, remember how they had that big lengthy conversation? And I said that it was super significant. Among the circumstances which may be considered in determining whether alarm is warranted is the fact that the person takes flight upon appearance of a law enforcement officer. To his credit, he didn't do that. Refuses to identify himself, didn't do that, or manifestly endeavors to conceal himself or any object. I don't know that he did that with the gun. The gun was concealed beforehand. Unless flight by the person...
There's an argument.
There's an argument, but I think that's weak. Unless flight by the person or the other circumstance make it impracticable, law enforcement officers shall, prior to any arrest for an offense under this code section, afford the person an opportunity to dispel any alarm or immediate concern which would otherwise be warranted by requesting the person to identify himself and explain his presence and conduct. This actually might be one of the few circumstances where talking to the police might be a good idea, because you can actually use it as a defense here. I've never seen a section like this. This is really interesting to me. No person shall be convicted of an offense under this code section if the law enforcement officer failed to comply with the foregoing procedure, or it appears at trial that the explanation given by the person was true and would have dispelled the alarm or immediate concern. So they had to do that discussion. That discussion that they had was actually super relevant to everything, right? To being able to charge him. Because if they'd skipped that discussion, he would have an absolute defense to this charge. You didn't ask me what I was doing there, so I'm innocent on this one. But they did ask him what he was doing. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say I suspect that most of what he was saying was true. Or at least he believes it to be true, right? Like, he believes that his Lambo was stolen from him, and he believes all of this stuff. I don't know if it's factually true, and I think it'll be interesting to find out if it's got to be factually true or just honest. Because I'm just trying to see here if there's a difference. There's the judicial decisions here, so I'm trying to see if there's a opportunity to explain. what is it? Where is the truthfulness? Well, doesn't seem to be there. I'd have to do a bunch of case law research. But regardless, I think the problem he's going to have on this one is, and would have dispelled the alarm or immediate concern. Even if true, I don't think it dispels the alarm or immediate concern.
No.
Because it's like, this guy has been wronged, if we believe that, which I don't, but I believe he believes it, and has shown up with a gun to confront this guy on a live stream while shouting like a crazy person and scaring the neighbors. Like, you can hear that the neighbor is afraid because he's like, oh no, this isn't about you, sir. You have nothing to worry about. I'm after this guy. I'm like, if I'm the neighbor, that reassures me 0%. So I think they've got a pretty good case on this one, but it is a misdemeanor. So, yeah. Then we've also got this one because he was charged with assault by causing fear.
You know that he is going to be seeing this and commenting on this, right? Like, he is too invested in this. He is going to 100% be searching for every reference to his name. Have you tagged Ben Armstrong, like his new one?
I did.
Oh,
because
yep.
it's funny.
And now you have guaranteed it. Ben Armstrong,
Because
are you
it's
in the
funny.
chat? Ben Armstrong, are you in the chat? Are you here? Are you watching? Like, are you watching now? Because, sir, we have commented on your legal issues in the past. We gave very sound advice that you didn't follow because you thought you were just, doing your thing.
He did
your
eventually
thing has-
grab a lawyer and start cluing in on the other thing. So that, he did
yeah.
eventually come around to a clue.
Your thing has gotten you in trouble, so maybe let's just not do that thing very much anymore.
Yeah. You need to chill, dude. And yeah, he's one of these guys who gets on Twitter or X as they now call it, I guess, but I'm still going to call it Twitter. So he just likes to get into fights with anybody who speaks poorly of him. And the thing is, there's so many people because his behavior gives so many reasons for people to speak poorly of him. So, yeah. It's he might show up. I mean, he might decide to pick a fight. We'll have to see. I mean, yeah. I see Emily saying he's just loitering in the chat. Yeah. All right.
You mean like you, Emily?
No. I mean, if I can't imagine.
No, I was joking.
Chat.
I was teasing at Emily.
I can't imagine he's actually in the chat because I can't imagine him staying quiet. Right. I think
he's going nuts. And what I'm watching Twitter right now, or X, whatever we call it now, because I'm waiting for him to catch wind that we're talking about him and for him to start tweeting. Because he tweeted an hour ago.
Oh, so he's still awake. Yeah, maybe his lawyers finally reined him in.
Ian, come on. You are smarter than that, my friend.
I mean, this might be what he looks like when he's reined in. I mean, sure, he's confessing to crimes online, where he says, this is the hardest tweet I have ever had to make. I need to make a confession I never imagined I would admit. I'm not even really sure if I have the courage to say it, but I'm going to do my best. Here it goes. My name is Ben, and I'm a loiterer. I did 8 whole hours in the slammer. That's both a confession and baiting the court.
So have you talked about the document that got him? Like, have you talked about the substance yet? Like of this?
No. I'm talking about his legal troubles with this instance. So haven't gotten to like the substance of this one.
It's good. So can I give the audience like a quick recap?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Benjamin Armstrong, when he formed Bitboy Crypto, because it was him, he formed Bitboy Crypto, and that was the company that existed. It was his name, him. And he realized pretty quickly that he needed to bring someone else on. So he brought on this person to be his CEO. And the CEO he brought on, he said, I'll bring you on as CEO. I'll give you 37% of my company. So here's 37% of the company. And the CEO says, nah, we need an operating agreement. We need an operating agreement. We need an operating agreement that can dictate, because you're too volatile. I don't trust you. This is all like conjecture that I'm reading into it. But we need an operating agreement because I don't trust you. Because you are too inflammatory, and I need to know that if you go off the rails and I have an equity ownership interest in this company, you're not going to tank it. That's the thing. So the operating agreement had some poison pills, basically clauses in the agreement that the minority owners would be able to execute to evict the majority owners. So the minority owner, the CEO, had this 37% interest in the company. But the operating agreement had a lot of clauses in it that were morality clauses. They basically said, if you engage in this type of behavior, we get to exercise this clause and you're gone. Period. We buy you out of your interest.
Because he's been acting like such a dingbat online.
Exactly. So it was basically saying, we have to protect ourselves and the company, because if you start going off the handle, we need to be able to have the right to buy you out and say you're gone.
And the thing is if he had a lawyer who was halfway competent, his lawyer should have been like, so you're proposing to agree to something where they could buy you out if you act like a jackass. You are pathologically incapable of not acting like a jackass for even 20 minutes. She's like, you're doing it right now in this hearing or in this meeting. So why don't you just sell your company and get it over with? Well, like, because that's where this goes. That's where this ends.
This doesn't give the option. All they had to do was get enough information. And Ben walks in and gives it to him. Basically walks in and starts complaining to his co-employees about his wife, his affair, his mistress, starts laying all of his shit out for everyone to see. And then starts engaging in behavior that's, well, him. Harassing people online, trolling lawyers that are suing him, saying you can't sue me, opening himself up and the company up to liability. He is literally a walking giant target to his ass that's saying, shoot me with an arrow. So he keeps doing this. And finally, the minority owner basically says, nah, we have enough. You're done. And then in the clause, there's the ability for the minority owner to compel a valuation. And all the minority owner has to do is come up with the money to buy him out. The minority owner compels the clause, says, nope, I need the valuation. Here's the valuation. Minority owner's like, they make a bunch of money. They're like, okay, we're buying you out. See you later. Clause executed. You're gone. Bye. We own the company. You are now out of the company. So Bitboy Crypto, Ben Armstrong, who was Bitboy Crypto, is now no longer a Bitboy Crypto and has to go and create a brand new YouTube account, a brand new Twitter account, a brand new everything, because the minority ownership of his company ousted him because of his behavior.
He's just lucky they didn't put a non-compete in there.
There might be. We don't know if there is, because there might be. There might be. They just haven't sued him.
If there's a non-compete, he's in even bigger shit.
And so every company asset that he was driving around in, walking around in, using as his personal asset, every company asset that he, up until this point, believed was his. Because that's what a lot of these creators do. When they create a company, they think it's theirs. When you bring someone else on,
putting things into the company. And in fact, like, if you are thinking of bringing other people into a company that you're running like this, You should
Equity
really
owner.
talk to a lawyer to be like, hey, maybe before we do this, part of this agreement has to be that we sell some of these assets directly to me as a person. Like, because then he could have owned, like, I'm sure that if he'd said, hey, listen, we're making this deal. The company owns the Lambo, but I'll buy the Lambo, right? Like, I'll buy that. They probably would have been like, sure, cool.
Here's how the prelude or the prequel to your movie. Here's how the prequel plays out. The prequel plays out where Ian picked up. Let me give you the prequel. We'll go back and we'll do a Star Wars behind. The prequel that lays out before Ian takes over is Ben Armstrong is realizing that the company is starting to position itself against him. He starts to get these letters and emails that are suggesting that his behavior might be coming subject to controversy. Rather than, tamp down on the behavior or consult a lawyer, what does he do? He does what he has always done, which is firebrand, phone calls, text messages, emails, etc. He does this, and what does that do except for secure the company in their position? So apparently there's a bunch of behind the scenes phone calls where the company directors are going back and forth, arguing over a bunch of this stuff, fighting, yell, like left, right, and center. And the company is it's positioning itself. It's saying, look, every time you email me, the company, you are giving us more ammunition to say bye-bye. So as he is getting more and more angry at this concept, the company's theory is that he is going more and more volatile. He's going to the drugs. He's going to the crazy behaviors. He's going to the things that are inflammatory. He's going to his modus operandi. He's going to the massive live streams trying to trigger his audience to try and fight people. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Remember with the lawyer, he had he told his followers to go and call the lawyer's office that was suing him for FTX stuff, left, right, and center. So that's what he does. He mobilizes his platform. And in the process of that, the company's narrative is he lost total control. He lost control of himself and went on what they are saying was a bender, judging by his behavior. The allegations were that there were narcotics involved last night.
And
judging by the behavior.
Well, and I mean, he just looks it, right? There's a moment where he's sitting there and he keeps fidgeting with his bag, and I'm going, dude, you look so much like a client. Like,
that was bad. That was bad. When he in the moment of that video where I was like, oh, this is going one, like from the start, it's going terribly. But the moment of the video where it's like, this is going really bad is where the cops say, put the phone down. He puts the phone down, and the cops ask him after he puts the phone down, who's in the car?
Yeah.
And you see him
have that like, oh.
He looks at the phone like he wants to grab it. But one, that's a real quick way to get shot.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Bad move.
And then he eventually like says it apologetically to the to his audience.
No, to the phone. He says it to the phone. He doesn't tell the cop. He says the phone. He tells the phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that is just like, oh, my goodness, sir. Oh, my goodness.
I couldn't believe what we watched. What the hell was that? That was wild.
Oh, and I mean, how did he not? He's sitting there and he wants to keep, like, he clearly wants to keep that a secret from his audience. How do you think that's going to be a secret when you're literally like, you brought them there, right? Like you made that happen.
All 2,500 of them.
And I'm kind of surprised because he's got a pretty dedicated sort of following. I thought he would have had more people there.
It's not the people that watch the lives, it's the people that watch the videos. And they are a dedicated following. I mean, Ben
But
Armstrong.
there's got to be a point where they're like, we signed up to see crypto. All we're seeing is drama.
Ian, stop. You know better than this. You know damn better than this. There's a whole sector of the internet that watches videos for no other purpose than drama.
Oh, I know, but
And
you'd think that like his audience would be going through change, right? Although I guess they've got to be like, we like this guy because he's the drama, person in crypto. And I mean, you're probably not into crypto because you make good life choices.
well, he was someone who I don't like seeing the fall of somebody like that. Like, it's not fun. It really isn't. Like, there's moments of it where I laugh
I'm
at
okay
it.
with it.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because they brought it upon themselves. They do it to themselves. But I still don't like seeing self-destructive behavior. I mean, this dude, how many times
You do it to
when
yourself.
we covered
Just you.
well, think about it. When we covered that lawsuit against him, we were trolling, we were joking, but realistically, what we were doing was, bro, recalibrate. You are not down the right path. You are going towards something that's going to hurt a whole lot. And he was like, nah, I got this, bro. I'm totally right. We're like, well, we have clients that tell us that all the damn time. And you know what happens? They're not right ever.
Yeah. And you know where they end up? Jail a lot of the time. So.
And I don't care if he was there for like 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours. He was there. He has a booking photo. He was now arrested for loitering when that didn't have to be the case. That was him.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing is it's just like, how do you not think that that's going to have an impact on you?
I'll tell you what, there's a divorce attorney.
Some divorce attorney is slathering. I mean, hell, if I'm a divorce lawyer, I'm probably just being like,
fuck. Sorry,
give
me these facts. Give me these facts.
And I'm probably just being like, is there some way I can like slip my card into her, mailbox?
I mean, the only thing that comes to my mind is, my God, could you imagine this person as an opposing party?
Oh, I would love that.
No, I would hate it. Like, I'm not going to put my staff through that. Like, the phone calls that man would make, the harassing threats he would make. Hell, I would actually, Ben Armstrong, if you are watching, this is a warning. Like, don't show up to my house. That's a bad, or Ian's house. That's a really bad idea. That's a
show up to my house. It'll be hilarious.
It's a terrible idea. Like, literally the worst of ideas you could ever think of.
Very funny.
No,
very funny.
Terrible idea.
I mean, here's the really funny thing is he's going to have to get through to get to my house. He'd have to get through a customs stop. And can you imagine him explaining why he's there to customs? He'd be like, so, first of all, I'm a YouTuber. And you need to understand, they stole my Lambo. They stole my Lamborghini. This guy, Carlos, is a gangster, and they stole my Lamborghini. He threatened he was going to kill me. He, and me and my wife and my girlfriend, we, like, everybody knows about each other, but me and my girlfriend went to his house, and then this other guy, he was making fun of me. So I'm going to sit on his front yard to make a video. And the customs guy'd be like, okay, let me find the denied stamp, but not the ordinary size denied stamp. I need the extra large denied stamp for this one. Right?
The district office of the police for my district is 3/4 of a mile away. 3/4 of a mile. Don't show up to my house. Just don't do it. It's just a
I mean, if
really
somebody was
bad
on my
move
front porch with a
for
handgun,
so many reasons. like I'm giving the police reason because that's the respectful reason. Don't do it. But this guy, as an opposing party in a divorce case, if I was the lawyer representing the wife, I saw the label. It looks phenomenal. If you're repping the wife, you're advising your staff like he's going to show up at the office.
and he may have a gun.
Yeah, I'm telling my staff he's going to show up at the office. I'm giving warnings to every police officer that I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, well, and you're like, let's make sure my carry permit is up to date because, yeah.
I got to talk to you about that. I need a new carry. Mine's too big.
How do you feel about revolvers? Not a fan. Gotcha.
Consistent, reliable, very good, well manufactured, well engineered. I love it. Pokey.
Check the Chiappa Rhino. The cylinder on it is flattened, so it's kind of an octagonal shape cylinder. So it doesn't have the like round pokey bit.
Oh.
And if you get like the 3-inch barrel, it's quite concealable.
Was it fire?
On that? You can get it in a variety of calibers, but 357, I figure, solves a lot of issues. And
oh no, this thing fires any kind. This thing fires anything.
You can get it in a whole variety of calibers, like a whole lot of things.
38, 357.
Well,
all right.
357 will fire 38 special. So if you want something that shoots with a little less punch, you can load the 357 with the 38 special.
Because I like the reliability of the revolver.
Now the Rhino is it's a little bit of a weird gun.
I'm looking at it. That hammer is so
that's
tiny.
not actually the hammer.
What is it?
That's a cocking lever.
That's not the hammer?
No, the hammer's inside.
It's a mechanical hammer, like inside. So the cocking lever is I'm confused.
So that's just if you want to cock it. So you can use that lever to cock it. But it is not, it's not actually the hammer or connected to the hammer directly. It is, it's there just so that you can like draw the hammer back to get the effect on the first trigger pull. But the reason why it's a little complicated is that inside this thing is sort of this mechanism, because it doesn't fire out of the top cylinder. It fires out of the bottom. So when you look at the barrel, that big tall barrel on that thing,
yeah,
it's actually shooting out the bottom.
I see
of
the
that,
I see the bottom.
top.
Oh, and I see the revolver's coming around. It's a bottom. Oh, I see what you mean. Interesting. In the Chiappa, all of their revolvers are this design, like the bottom fire.
The Rhino. And so give one a try, because one of the things I think you'd like about it is that you can see how that bottom fire puts it very much to the center of the grip.
How does it? Yeah, but so it's center. So you're not getting a lot of upward trajectory on a recoil, right? So you're getting straight back on the recoil.
Exactly. Normally, when you've got the gun and you fire, it wrenches your wrists back.
But you're getting straight back in this one.
But instead, it's pushing straight back towards the middle of your hand, and it's very easy to control.
But the aiming point, does that mess with you at all?
Not really, because the aiming point is a
well,
difference
at
of
that
an inch.
Distance, you're not really carrying.
And if an inch is going to mess you up, you were aiming for the wrong thing. So I'll just say I really like the I really like it. because it doesn't have an external hammer, you can't get like grit or something else blocking it either. So everything is internal, so it doesn't like mess up in that fashion.
No mechanical
And
safety either.
It just, you pull the trigger and it goes.
Okay, so it's like a Glock.
Yeah, but
I like
found
that, to be honest.
Shooting 38 special out of mine felt like shooting a 20, or feels like shooting a 22.
Dude, tell me you have seen. Oh my gosh, Rhino. So Chiappa Rhino 200 DS 357. Look that up.
Yep. So 200 DS.
That shoots a 3.5. What?
You mean the 20 DS?
Yes.
Yep.
That's a 357. That is the shortest barrel I've ever seen in my life. What?
It's a tiny little thing that shoots a 357. And
that is a wow.
And I've shot this not in Canada because it's prohibited in Canada, but I can tell you it is surprisingly still accurate at, you know, decent distances. So, but like at self-defense distances, like, because usually self-defense is
concealed
like,
carry distance, you're not dealing with long, like you're 5-10 feet, like you're maybe 20 feet max.
Yep. It
Oh, that might be my new go-to. It's
Yep.
not too bad. It's pricey, but it's not like, for what it gives you.
It's pricey, but it's not like
Pretty
ridiculous, right?
Pretty good.
I'd say go try one out at the range, and they're a really interesting gun. I really think that they're a decent one. If they gave me a carry permit, I would seriously consider this. If not this, I'd be looking at maybe something. Ask Brunka. He's got a semi for his carry, and it's a little small semi. He's got with a little red dot on it. He's actually got a really good setup.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I sidetracked. I completely went to self-defense. I went to family law and clients that are way too interested in confrontation and what that means, and that went down a rabbit hole, and Ian got distracted and I got distracted, and that's what happens. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's yeah, so I mean, I really don't think he should be surprised that he got pushed out of his company.
No.
Because I got to tell you, with the way he was acting, I would have fired him if he was like the floor cleaner, right? Not just the face of the company, but if he was like the dude who sweeps the floor, I would have fired him. So, yeah. And the thing is if he's going to litigation over that, these criminal charges are going to end him.
Oh, I know. Did you are we at the end of the video? Has he been arrested yet?
Yeah, he was arrested in that video, or he stops the video when he goes up to it. So far as I can tell.
He'll totally be the dick that copyright hits you if you play anything from his channel today, right? Yes.
Well, we're going to do it anyway.
Okay.
First, we're going to go through super chats and member chats in case we get hit with a copyright, thing.
Yeah. So we can cut it off when we need to.
Yeah. So Brentwood Chic, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. And Cat Vetter, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. Lady Draconis, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. We have Tamara Cartwright Lobel saying, because I'm bound to be asleep by the time you start. Love from the UK. Sorry we gave you the lurgy. That was because I got sick while I was in the UK.
Yeah.
Tony P says, a coin for our Witcher. Well, thank you kindly. Pants says, we're a team of people who are behind you. Well, thank you so much. I was talking about how like a channel like Bitboy Cryptos there's a bunch of people involved, Whereas like my channel is me and my mod, basically.
And me, I have powers.
And Rob has powers, and he uses them for much more good than I do on his channel.
Correct.
So, Uncivil, who is entirely joking, says Runkle Coin, bye. There is no Runkle Coin, and there never will be.
I love the trolling now.
Oh, he's exceptional for that. Angie Torres is here for all the mocking. Well, thank you kindly. We're all here. Charlie Raven, thank you very much for the membership. Much appreciated. L. Fliggins says, thanks for this and glad you're feeling better. I am still at like 75%. So, but I just had, like, when I saw that video, I was like, got some opinions. Need to share opinions. So, Michelle Doverspike, thank you for the membership. Much appreciated. Kristen M96, while I think of it, happy National Robot Day. If you don't know, Kristen M96 is the creator of all the robots. Also, Dumpling Day. Dumplings are excellent. I need to go for dim sum. I haven't been for dim sum in a while. Glad you covered this. It needed Runkle Stark to be covered correctly. I want to find a good dim sum place here in Edmonton, but ideally one that does like the dim sum carts. Have you been to a place that does that?
Carts? No.
Dim sum carts is the best. There was a place I used to go, but then they got shut down for health violations, which I would have let them stay open. But they just like load up all the dim sum onto carts and they just wheel it around, and you're just like, yeah, I want that. And then at the end of it, they just charge you based on how many plates you've got on your table.
Okay.
So, yeah. Seems like she's the COO of Bencoin. I don't know. That's what I've heard. I haven't been able to confirm, but seems likely, and that gets the whole thing to be real incestuous. Adrienne Angevine says, but God is supposed to protect the children, the stupid, and ships named Enterprise. He's doubling down on the stupid for the protection factor. He should get a tattoo that says Enterprise. And then he's got all three. Because he's childish, stupid, and he'd be an Enterprise at that point.
He should just not be on the internet. Like, that's
oh
him.
My God.
It's his choice.
Feel kind of sorry for the cops that have to work this crazy every so often, and the times it gets truly crazy and dangerous. I mean, that's the thing, is the cops are sitting there wondering if this guy is actually a hazard. And there's that moment where he reaches a little too fast for his bag.
Oh, yeah. He slows down, but he slows down real quick. Like,
he goes and he stops. He's like, sorry, I was moving too fast.
There has to be a cop who reached for his. There's a cop that's back there who's doing this move as he looks up and realizes what he does.
I would have been, if I was a police officer, I'd have been touching iron at that point. I would have been like, because you got to win the draw every time as a police officer. So,
and that's like a lucky moment.
Did the video make you feel better? Have you been healed by Bitboy?
No,
I have been healed by the power of laughter. So, yeah. Sakea Dargan, feel kind of. We just covered this one. Arrow Scorpion, thank you very much for the membership there. Much appreciated. CJR 902, where's my company Lamborghini for being a member? I don't even have a Lamborghini of my own, and I can tell you, if I could afford a Lamborghini, I would not buy a Lamborghini. I would just do more pro bono work. Jumbo Dim Sum in Edmonton has the carts. It's good. I will have to check that out. I think my wife and I will make that date night. In essence, they had the gun. He supplied the bullets. Yep. Ben just can't stop himself, can he? No. All right.
Wait,
if you guys haven't...
Can I do one ADHD sidetrack before that?
Yes.
Like one?
Yes.
I watched your Getting Ready With Me video the other day. I did, and I played it for friends. And if you guys are in the chat and you have not seen it, please go see it. It's phenomenal. I'm working on mine now. But You said I was wearing my casual cufflinks, and I reached over
Yes.
because I've had this sitting here. So just so no one says I'm like trolling, like these are cufflinks.
Well, it's not. The zoom is not. It's
Focus.
zooming in on the robots. It sees the
Focus.
faces on the robots, and it's like that's the thing.
Oh my god, it's killing me.
It's the robots or the people,
These are cufflinks.
and I can't. They are very blurry.
I know they are. Camera, can you stop? Camera. Can you find my face?
It thinks the robots are the star.
The robots are real. The robots are not real. The robots.
There we go. Oh, nice. Nice. So you got a hand and a Chewy. Nice.
And Chewy. Cufflinks.
That is amazing. I actually lost one of the casual cufflinks that is in that video. I have to order another set. Because it's a little hourglass.
I like those.
But
I
lost
have some other fun ones. They're my favorite.
If I have to wear cufflinks, I'm going to wear silly ones. So, yep. Oh,
Yeah.
and it looks like EDB is signing off. Good night, EDB.
Night, Emily.
We still need to do the what do you call it?
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde stream.
I know.
But yeah. Oh, and we've got this one. Ian, was your face on fire after that video? So for the people who don't know what was being referred to there, there is a sauce which is the like Hot Ones has 10 sauces that get of increasing heat level. Number 10 is a sauce called the Last Dab. And the Last Dab is stupid hot.
It's lethal.
I enjoy it, but I have to be super cautious with it. This is it. Now, so I had the Last Dab, and I'm like, and now we're going to apply this as, I forget if it was like, wasn't the shaving thing, because it was a different one, but it was, I was like, I'll take another swig of this, and then I'll apply some, just as a skin thing. And I was like, I am feeling this. You can see my cheeks start to turn pink because I am getting, I just kind of pepper sprayed myself. Somebody says, you didn't actually use it on your face, did you? I did.
Oh, you did.
Every single hot sauce that you see in that gets used. But I mean, I was hurting at the end of it. I was hurting.
Oh, go back and rewatch it, folks. Go back and rewatch it. You can now that you know that information, look at his face. I
finished like the last sauce that appears in that one is this sauce, my own sauce. And I can tell you because I was my stomach was burning because I hadn't eaten all day and I just took a pull of Last Dab on an empty stomach. And so I was like, this is a bad idea. I still ate my eggs with the sauce, but
the Last Dab that gave me capsaicin cramps when I had a full meal.
Oh,
like, it that locks up your insides.
It's a serious sauce. And I mean, I say this as a guy who regularly just takes a sip of hot sauce, whether I'm on stream or not, because I just enjoy it. So I would love to at some point, like people keep saying, you should need to go on the Hot Ones. And I'm like, I would love to, but when they're having like Taylor Swift, I can tell you random dude with with 230,000 subscribers is not on their radar by any stretch.
Apparently they had all the Backstreet Boys or all NSYNC. They had all of one of them.
They had all NSYNC and apparently they just died.
That's phenomenal. I have to go watch that.
Was it Rihanna who just like cruised through it and was like,
it was Jenna Ortega, who's Mexican by birth, and Pedro, what's his name? Pedro Pascal, who's also Mexican by birth.
Oh
And
man.
they were like, this is good. You could tell it was hot. They didn't
Yeah.
like it, but they're trained.
But I mean, somebody sent me this.
No.
Clear hot sauce. So hot
Fuck
you'll go
that. I'm
blind.
sorry. Fuck that. Get that off the screen. That has got to be so toxic. Pedro Pascal's Chilean. Okay. Yeah. But Jenna Ortega is Mexican by birth, right? Yeah.
That's got a really interesting taste to it.
I don't like that. That's a bad idea.
Because it is the fact that it's like alcoholic. Because there's moonshine in this. The moonshine taste does cut the because it is straight capsaicin. It is an extract base. It tastes like, but it does cut the taste there. So yeah, it is just chemicals, but it's actually one of the better extract based tastes or sauces I've tasted. So
It's not the bomb.
The bomb tastes awful.
Tastes like butthole.
No, people voluntarily eat butthole. Nobody voluntarily eats
also
the bomb.
remarkably gross.
So yeah. All right, let's talk about and we might get struck here.
Yeah, I got like 5 minutes in me, so let's play this one.
All right. Let me just find it here because it's in my it's in one of these folders here. I gotta pull this up. It's a longer one, but most of the interesting part is at the beginning. So I just gotta find it here. Because Bitboy Crypto, of course, is completely unable to make a good decision in his life. So what does he do? He goes on another live stream. And it starts out with a whole bunch of...
To accept this call, press 1 now.
Okay, that's weird.
Thank you. Your call has been accepted.
Nicholas, if you are investing in crypto, you are making as sensible a financial decision
Hey guys, it's me.
as just like throwing these coins at like seagulls. So, all right.
Did he learn any lessons? Let's see.
I'm calling from the jail.
Pause. This motherfucker put on. Oh God, never mind. He's
cosplaying as if he's in jail. He went and found himself an orange shirt. Because he's clearly not in jail for a couple of reasons. One,
what a child.
You can tell when somebody's green screening. You know, if you look at the edges, you can see the green screen. He's not green screening.
What a child.
Second of all, this is not a prison jumpsuit. So he thinks this is funny. And I gotta say, if he and I are, if he's in court and if I'm the prosecutor, I'm running this at his sentencing. And be like, he spent a night in jail and you can see how much it deterred him. So let's keep going because he gets worse.
Gwinnett County Jail. And I'd like to apologize to you guys about what I did. And
keep in mind that apology can be taken as a confession. And then he's got to explain, oh no, it was just a joke. You never want to be explaining away your confession.
What an asshole. Oh.
If you guys could, I've got a donation address for commissary. If you guys could put that in, I would love to get a cup of ramen. Like, if I could just get a cup of ramen. If I could just get a cup of ramen. And if I could just make one of those jail burritos. You guys know what I'm talking about. The guys that know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. It's a jail burrito, guys.
the guys who know what you're talking about are really unimpressed with what you're doing right now. And
You better hope to God they never see this too, because they gonna
Yeah.
make you a prison friend. They gonna make you a real good prison friend.
I mean, the thing is I suspect what happens is he goes in and some pretty hard-hitting folks say, well, you got one of two options. Either we're your protection or we're your problem. You got to pick one of those, and here's what protection's going to cost. And protection ain't cheap, if you are in that, in that scenario.
Can
The
we
other
do
thing is,
a quick caveat? Neither Runkle nor I are saying that these charges, the ones he was arrested on, they don't mean anything. They are loitering. Yes, they're loitering. But the prosecution can
assault-
amend their charges anytime they want. They can look into anything they want. And with a character like this, if I get a file on my desk, I'm a prosecutor and I look at someone like this, I'm going, what else can I charge them with? Oh, they're in crypto. Maybe I can make a name for myself as a prosecutor. Maybe I can find someone that will turn on them. And then they go to YouTube and they're like, there's a lot of people willing to talk about this person.
Oh, I'm sure this guy has some enemies.
Maybe I could get enough to charge him. If I wanted to be a prosecutor in an up and coming prosecutor's office, I could make a charge.
I could make a name for myself on this one.
I could. Yep. And you know what? You have enough with what he's saying. So the thing is, it's not the arrest. The arrest is never the problem. Let's be honest here. That
it's
charge,
that now you've attracted attention.
Yeah, that loitering, that's a $50 citation. That's not what I'm laughing about. That's not what Ian's laughing about. What we're laughing about is that this man has just had a light cast on him, and he's like, here's my spotlight. Come here, FBI. I am right here for you to capture me. Like, he's just asking for it.
It's not just that. Even a misdemeanor, usually, most misdemeanors run the range from small fine up to period of jail.
Max a year,
right?
Max year.
So here's the problem he runs into. Let's say he gets the prosecutor pissed off. How would he do that? Well, the chances that he names the prosecutor in a video become real high because he's got no ability to not be a dumbass. So he names the prosecutor. The prosecutor starts getting a whole ton of emails and loses their shit. That's a real possibility.
And if you're not singing "Hello FBI Friends," what's happening in Kurt's voice right now, you're not a real person.
So I am just thinking that this guy, they may come in and say, you know what? Normally we'd ask for a small fine. We're asking for 3 months jail.
Yeah, they could.
And videos like this really sell it. Listen, this guy is, he's got millions of dollars and he's openly mocking the judicial system. Do you
know where he does most of his advertising for cryptocurrency exchanges and stuff? On the interwebs. Do you know what the FBI is really good at charging?
Internet anything.
Wire fraud crime. You know what you do when you go on a phone call and you say do something to invest in something,
and
it's not a real thing? That's wire fraud. Have you ever seen the FBI lose a wire fraud case? Because I haven't.
I'm sure that they have at some point, but yeah. Yeah, he's baiting them into sending him to, and the other thing is, what did he spend a lot of time doing just before we got to this? Oh, right. Hey, organized crime, I am a jackass. So he may end up, if he goes into custody, he may end up finding somebody who's got a grudge and is willing to just, poke a couple of holes in him. Don't be doing that. You've really got to be careful when you're in jail, because there is ways to act that are conducive to your safety and ways to act that are not. And I feel like he does not have the ability to act in ways that are conducive to his safety. So let's keep going.
I can't remember how to make them anymore. I think you need the ramen. I think you need Cheetos. You know, you got some real chefs in here, guys. They can cook those jail burritos up, and I'm really looking forward to eating one. It's going to be really exciting. As a lot of you guys know.
And you know what? If I'm the prosecutor, I'm playing this real slow and saying, Judge, give him his request. He's asked for you to get him a jail burrito. He really wants to try one. Let's get him 3 months of jail burritos.
I'm gonna private chat you the remark
because it's too spicy.
Oh God.
I was arrested last night, hence why I'm here in jail, obviously.
Yeah, that's probably a bad one.
I know.
Sorry, this is hard.
I didn't say it.
The fact is that I got 2 charges last night. One of them, and I haven't looked at the internet. I haven't seen the internet. I don't know what people are saying. I don't know.
As you fucking
But I do
tweeted
know
all day
that,
long.
the
piece
charges
of
that I
shit.
got, one of them, the first one is just,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I mean he is such a, he's trying to pretend he's in custody, but yeah. I mean the thing is he really could have done a better job. Like, does this man not own a green screen? So.
and this is
I don't know.
when they arrested me. Okay, this is the charge that I was given, and I don't want to be seen as this kind of person, guys. I don't want to be seen as this kind of person. I'm done. I'm done with it. Guys, I got a loitering charge. Guys, I'm not a loiterer. I guess I am. Frick. I guess I am, guys.
Oh,
I am.
All right,
Plead
we
it.
got an
There
admission.
you go.
He just
Now we're
admitted
done.
to
Bye. They admitted to it. There you go.
trial over. It's like, you don't confess to the stupid things. I mean, he does.
I mean, all he's doing is putting his wallet on the line. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it. That was. I'm going to be more mature. More mature.
Rob, we're very disappointed.
My name is Ben Armstrong. I'm in Gwinnett County Jail right now as I speak. And I am a loiterer. I have to admit it. Can you guys accept me as a loiterer? The second charge I got was, this is hard to admit too. I made someone scared. That's literally the charge. Simple assault, placing another person in fear. Didn't touch.
Oh no.
20 feet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wait. Did he just say what I think he did?
Simple assault, placing somebody in fear, and he admitted that he made somebody scared.
He didn't finish the rest of what that means.
Yep. Commits an act which places another in reasonable apprehension of immediately receiving a violent injury.
Uh-huh.
So, like, showing up at their house with an angry rant and a gun in your, what do we call that? Is like shoulder bag there?
This DA, I think, has ample evidence to charge possible aggravated or intention or attempted aggravated, right? Because you have the means right there. You brought the means with you.
I'd be looking at, hey, you brought the gun to commit this offense.
I've got simple aggravated, attempted aggravated, easily attempted aggravated because you brought it there.
This guy is such a moron. Just such an amazing moron.
I'm and going forward, I'm not allowed to talk about this other person, and so I can't say this person's name. But what I can say is, apparently, this person was scared of me. But the volume of my voice doesn't.
Was that the Is that Cassie?
No, that's his wife saying, turn it down. His wife is like, I can hear your voice and I don't want to hear your voice. Shut up.
This is the worst.
I don't know what this means, guys, that I've now caused fear in the heart of man. And it's very sad to me. I certainly didn't think that I was going to do that. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make, anyone who's threatened my life scared. I didn't want to do that. And so I don't want to be seen as that person. So I'm not going to be that person anymore, guys. If you guys want to see some statements that I made, we can get serious here now, guys. Okay, obviously I'm not in an orange jumpsuit. This is actually a former hit merch shirt turned backwards. It's very uncomfortable around the neck backwards. I feel like the noose is tightening on me.
Give me a fucking jury trial. Give me a fucking jury trial. Give me a jury trial. God damn.
Oh, I mean, you run this in front of a jury and they're just going to hate his ass.
Give me a jury. Give me a fucking jury.
Yeah. I mean,
bench trial, you might have a chance. Give me a fucking jury.
Well, and the thing is bench trial, they're going to say, "Oh, he's confessed. He's admitted to it."
Yeah, but then it's nothing. Then it's nominal. Then it's stupid. Then it's like, here's your $50 fine. Give me a jury.
I would still. I mean, the judge does the sentencing. I'd run this on the sentencing. Like if he's like, yeah, we'll plead to the trespass. It's like, all right, how long are we going to need for sentencing? Like half an hour? I'm like, 4 days.
You know what? Where's my crystal ball? Yes. I have a crystal ball because I have predicted.
Do you have a cover for that thing?
It's really heavy.
But do you have a cover for it?
Do I have a cover for it?
You got to put a cloth on those things when you're not using them.
I do? What happened?
Yes. Well, you might think it's like the mystical energy or whatever. It's not. It's that if the sun hits that thing, it's a big magnifying lens that will set fire to your house.
Oh, no, it's in the dark space. Like there's no light that gets to it.
Okay, good. Because, you need to throw something over that or put it in somewhere. Yeah.
Well, the chat is now very concerned about covering my balls. But my crystal ball, so people laughed at me when I said that Sam Bankman-Fried would get charged. They laughed when I said the bankruptcy was the beginning. Charges are coming next. They said, no, he's too powerful. He's not going to get charged. Okay, cool. People laughed at me when he got charged, and I said, they're going to go after the politicians and the money to get it back.
Hey, look, they're doing that too.
They're doing that too. And then people laughed at me when I said that his parents would be wrapped into it. And what did we talk about Friday? Oh, that's right. His parents are getting sued for the clawback. Mr. Ben Armstrong, my prediction is that if not now...
Rob, you can't rub your balls on stream.
It's a crystal ball. I can rub the crystal ball on stream. If not now, then in the very, very near present future, Mr. Armstrong is going to be facing a lot more hurt than he's making light of right now.
He is really tempting fate.
That his former company that owns, reminder, the former company that kicked him out, guess who owns all of the email communications, text messages, phone calls, everything that he did while in the company.
Oh, God.
The company owns it. Guess what the company could voluntarily do? Turn it over to the authorities.
Yeah. Well, not just the authorities, but also that lawyer who's now got a real hard on for...
Guess what FTX did that everyone thought that they wouldn't do? Guess what FTX did to Sam Bankman-Fried and every single person that was a part of that company? They waited, they gathered the documents, they turned them over. So, Mr. Armstrong, my crystal ball, we're not done with you yet. We predicted that you would end up in jail. That prediction came true. Now it was a few months late. It was a few months late,
and a different reason. But
different reason.
I mean, really, you just look at certain personalities, and once they start to unravel, you're just like, jail is in your future, sir.
This makes me really happy to read.
Yes. And I think it's true.
Mm-hmm. Corey is laughing his ass off somewhere. Yeah, we said balls a lot. Yeah.
That is, yeah. I feel like he is going to keep pushing too, is the other thing. Like he doesn't have the ability to say, okay, enough, right? And that's the thing that'll get you into a lot of trouble is if you can't say, well, we're good. That was enough. And so, yep.
But guys, we're gonna get serious here, and I'm gonna talk about I'm leaving crypto. I'm gonna talk about that. And
Spoiler
everybody
alert,
watching
he's
my
not
channel,
getting
who's watched
serious
for
at
a long
all.
time, knows how I feel about cryptocurrency, and they know how
You
hard
think it's a
gonna
great
be for me
grift.
to leave crypto for 5 or 6 days. It's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really difficult for me to leave for 5 or 6 days. But that's what I'm gonna do. I love you guys. I hope you guys know that. Like, look, let's talk about what happened. And look, we're not going to talk crypto today. I'm going to talk about what happened last night.
No.
Why,
No.
No. Today was the day to talk crypto. Oh my God, this.
I think the chat probably appreciated the simultaneous like throw head back and be like, no, don't do that.
Like as a lawyer, I'd just be losing my mind. I'd be calling him, going, "What the are you doing?" So yeah, he's just bizarre. He's unreal.
And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do going forward and what this channel looks like, and my strategy going forward. Guys, I don't have to.
Why would you be talking about your strategy?
Still more? They can't hear me? Oh my God, it's so soft. Why is it so soft? Oh, I turned it the other way. I turned it down instead of up. Wow. People say I'm turned, and I guess this is true. Guys, we're not going to talk crypto today, so if you want to hear crypto today, but of course I do know this is the juiciest drama in all of crypto. But
that
if you want to see a statement that I made about the situation, about, you know, if you guys are interested in the juicy gossip, go ahead, go check out Twitter or x.com. Bitboy, well, no, I'm not Bitboy anymore, apparently. Ben Armstrong's X is my Twitter handle. If you guys want
that
to see
still chaps his ass.
I put
it's
out
clear.
on, you know, everything that occurred yesterday. You can do that. But, you know, what Concussed Smith says, Ben, will you please stream the upcoming suicide attempt? No, the only shot I had at committing suicide was based on the psychological prison that I was living in for a long time. I broke out of it.
What?
Last night was not.
Somebody got really harsh on his super chats.
Wow.
Chat, I like that you guys don't super chat me stuff like that. Like
Holy
if you're gonna
crap.
send if you're gonna send anything like that, it's got to at least be a red. Yeah, I'm just like, are you kidding me? So, yep, that's his chat apparently. Real pleasant people.
Not a low point for me. Some people feel like it is. There's a lot of wrong stuff going on out there, guys.
I'm just going to say, if getting arrested is not a low point for you, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
And like I said, going forward, I'm not going to be talking about the other side. Guys, the other side is, they don't have anything to stand on. Our legal case is so
Guys, I'm not going to be talking about the other side, so let me talk about the other side.
Unbelievably strong. That my lawyers have told me not to talk about it anymore at all. And I want you guys to understand, this doesn't have anything.
Yes, that is
Oh my
correct.
God.
You should shut
Never
your
mind.
noise hole. Yeah.
To do with last night, other than the fact that now it's harder for me to talk about it publicly because I'm not allowed to talk about the scared person. The person who's scared of me.
There's a protective order?
Yep.
No.
That'll be part of his bond conditions.
No. Oh my God.
And the thing is he says, the person who's scared of me, and he does the, he does this little,
This is possibly a violation of his bond conditions.
I think I would be arguing it is.
Because he references them and refers to them directly. This
as
is a violation
scared.
of conditions.
Yep. If I'm the prosecutor, I'm pulling this in and I'm just being like, yep, I would like to, I'd like to revoke, please.
He's not towing that line. I think he stepped right over top of it.
I think he's past the line. You know, the line might be, like he's very clearly hinting at who he's talking about. And if I'm a judge, I'm like
referring to an order that restrains you, and then referring to a person that is the subject of that order is enough for me to get you charged with violating protective order of Virginia. Like, you're done.
And just watch his face. I backed up about 5 seconds. Let's watch his face.
The person who's scared of me, a lot of people know who it is. The person who is scared of me.
You see the smile he made?
I'm not allowed to talk about him anymore because he's going to try to get my bond revoked.
He's going to succeed at getting your bond revoked, quite possibly. Well, in fact, you're going to succeed at getting your bond revoked, sir. Because you have this inability to shut the up. Like, if I'm his lawyer, I'm saying, listen, you have more money than whatever. So
this is within 12 hours of him saying this person's name repeatedly on a live stream and targeting his audience and his followers towards this person. The judge is going to get that context. If any attorney worth his weight in salt, give me that case. And he's DTFO. Are you kidding me?
He is so effed. I mean, we'll have to see if they actually bring it, but I would just be going to town on this guy. I would. I mean,
Laura
he
Leanne
clearly What's that?
Laura Leanne, look at her comment.
It's going to be on Law Talk with Mike if he keeps going. Yeah, how long until this guy goes full Sovsit?
He's there.
Well, I mean, I think he's already on Law Talk with Mike's radar because he's got the throuple going on.
Oh, God.
We've got to invite Law Talk with Mike on to talk about the throuple.
Agreed.
Okay, so we'll not be talking about that situation other than to go over what happened, and I'm not going to be talking about the other side going forward. We've won, guys. We've already won, and so a lot of people feel like last night was like some kind of low point for me, guys. I don't give a flip about going to jail. That means nothing to me. Like, it was inconvenient because.
Oh, that means nothing to you. Great. We'll give you more jail. We'll give you more jail. Because the solution to this didn't bother you is, like, how about 6 months?
There was 5.5 hours, or, well, let me say this. I think, I don't know what time I was live streaming. Y'all know. I think it was about 8:30. I think I got in the police car about 9-ish. And I got to the jail probably about 9:30. As soon as I got into the jail, it took about 30 minutes to get me into
yeah, Robin's dead.
And then there was so that would have put it in at about 10. They didn't process a soul in there. Not a soul, at least a male soul. They did process a few women during this period, but they didn't process or book in. Book in is the right word I'm looking for here. They didn't book one person that was full till like 2:30 in the morning. And no, there was nothing wrong with my teeth. I didn't need a dentist. But they did have nurses. The nurses were cool last night. It was a guy and a girl. They were cool. You know, the guy told me, he was like, "What? I don't understand what, like, I'm glad to be working again because for so many hours I don't know what's going on. Like, nothing was happening. So I don't know what occurred, but it was inconvenient being in jail, obviously. And of course, I didn't know what the internet was saying and stuff. But I don't, guys, that means nothing to me. I'm not scared of jail. Like, that was the whole point of me of last night was saying,
dude, shut
I
up.
am not scared. Hell or high water, I am not scared.
Shut
And
up.
I think for people to really understand what occurred, first of all, there were no
Motherfucker,
drugs
can you
involved,
pause for a
okay?
second?
I
This
was amped up
little bitch boy crypto was just whining about how he wasn't processed for a certain period of time. You little, like, the number of words, I cannot say them out loud because so many people be offended.
And the thing is,
this little tiny. You're complaining that you weren't processed fast enough. You're complaining that you didn't get treatment quick enough. You were in detention for like, oh, we had to wait 30 minutes before I was processed. Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you know what happens in county detention centers? Do you know how long it takes to get processed? Do you know how well you were treated? You little snotty son of a bitch, you arrogant prick. Are you kidding me? And then you're going to go and say, I'm not afraid? You have no fucking clue what these people go through. You are about to find out in the worst fucking way possible. And this is not a threat. This is not a threat. This is just,
it's
you
just
got
hilarious.
Like the nicest part of the system. You got the nicest part of the system, the part that like everyone prays that they see, the part that like everyone says, oh, the rich people get this. That's what you got. The next time, you're not going to get that same part of the system. I guarantee it because of what you're saying right now. Sorry, that was really loud and I'm pissed.
Oh, it's all good because, I mean, there is the real possibility that he ends up just held in like, okay, this clearly doesn't deter him. He said this much. We'll just keep him in custody. Problem solved. Right. If I'm this guy's lawyer, I am losing my freaking mind telling him to, to just keep your freaking mouth shut. All of this.
I'm the prosecutor. I am now looking for every single thing I can find to charge him.
And I'm sitting there going, okay, we got him on the breach here. We got him on, we got him on all of this stuff. And eventually you're just like, I'm going to assign a junior. Their job is just going to be to watch his videos. Like, your job is just watch Bitboy crypto stuff and see what else we can charge him with, and also, save timestamps for everything we can hammer him with on sentencing. F this guy. So, yep.
He's like a cat turd that shows up in your luggage.
How did it get there?
That's the same question. He's like a cat turd that shows up in your luggage. And you're like, I don't own a cat. Why is there a cat shit in my luggage? And it's there and it smells really bad. And you're like, what the fuck is this doing in my luggage? And then it's there and you're like, I don't want to deal with this cat turd.
Yep. It's actually, the guy kind of looks like a cat turd too.
Yeah.
His like face shape. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tonight, because I went to face my bully. I went to face my bully. I want you to think about this. The moment, it's easy for me to stand up to a bully on the internet. And you guys know, look what I did with Stan. Guys, this is not unique behavior for me. Going and live streaming in front of someone who's attacking me and attacking crypto or attacking somebody else.
This is not unique behavior for me. Oh, good. Then he needs to be extra deterred is what he's telling us. Like, yeah.
That's not unusual, guys. That's not erratic, okay? What occurred is I wanted to see the Lamborghini, which, by the way, the Lamborghini, even though it is in someone else's name, title, and I know who it is. It's, everybody read between the lines here on what I'm trying to say here. It was actually not in the garage.
No,
So
no, 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 no.
Do not tell the audience to read between the lines on what you're trying to say, because
You just said
that's like
the quiet part. You said the title part.
Yeah, he said the quiet part loud. Oh my God. This guy needs some face paint because he is clowning himself. So, yeah. Everybody can read between the lines. No, don't do that.
I love that we're simultaneously like screaming at the stupid remarks. Like they're that stupid that both attorneys are yelling like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to, is this guy is such a ridiculous. This guy's a one-man circus, and the circus is all clown.
I still don't know where it is, but I know who owns it 100%. I know who has the title, and everybody knows who it is here, okay? So the fact is...
Stop it.
The person that has a protective order against you.
I go to the house, and I don't know what I'm really expecting, but the point of me going is to say, in person, I am not scared of you. And what I wanted to do is, I'm not scared of jail. Think of your wife and son. Guys, I was in jail for a few hours. My kids are at my mom's house today anyways. Like, guys, like, I'm going to see the kids today. It's no problem. Like, when I say I'm scared to go to jail, I mean, like, I'm not scared to get booked for a night for something that was extremely minor, okay? Do I want to go to prison for years? Do I want to actually physically hurt someone so that I actually would have serious charges I could get in trouble for? No, obviously not.
I mean, that
I'm just not scared
coming to mind,
my bullies.
really,
I'm not scared. And if last night what happened was what had to happen, I think what you guys are going to see is you're going to see another step in my evolution as a person, and the next step in the evolution of me as a content creator, and the next step in the process of me.
He's going to evolve to have a second cell. It's not going to be another brain cell because the first one, it doesn't play well with others.
Oh, that was good. That was really good.
The next step in my evolution as a person. Yeah.
Just being in crypto. And I've had a really hard time focusing, guys. I've had a really hard time focusing.
Oh, this is where he's going to piss us both off.
I have a hard time focusing. I've spoken to someone this weekend. I definitely have ADHD. I've never had any treatment for it a single time. But, and the fact is,
you know what? Neither have I.
You fucking douche nugget. Are you kidding me? Is he going to blame this on ADHD?
That's what he's doing. Yeah. I've had ADHD. It's not well treated. You know how many people's houses I've shown up at with a gun? Well, only when I've been invited.
What a shit stain. What a little piece of wimpy POS coward garbage. Ben Armstrong, you are a coward. Oh my.
I was going to say, I was going to say never shown up at somebody's house with a gun. And then I realized that, my gunsmith does work out of his house. So that is not the case. But yeah, this is just, oh my God. The narcissism on this guy is exceptional.
Is that I'm going to get treatment for ADHD because I definitely have.
Oh my God.
And that became very apparent over this weekend. And so, I don't know what I'll
This had nothing to do with the ADHD, sir.
But I've really realized there's a lot of stuff about myself that I really do need to change. And one of those things is instead of me just running off the hip all the freaking time, I need some help with my attention. I need some help with it. And
Sir.
I think that going forward now with the metaphorical handcuffs placed on me,
they're not going to be that metaphorical.
talk about this, which means that after today, when you see me on the next when I come back, and we'll talk about what that looks like next week. It'll just be next week. I'm gonna take some days. Okay.
You're going to take some months if you're not careful.
Once again, it actually doesn't have that much to do with what occurred last night. It has more to do with something else that occurred yesterday that everybody knows about. It's not a secret what happened yesterday, and it had nothing to do with me. I didn't, I once again, maybe you can read between the lines.
Get to the point.
But I can't really say what I'm talking about here. But I'm trying to loosely reference it. Maybe
does he have a protection order against with the girl? Cassie.
But going
that would be
forward,
interesting.
I'm going to be completely focused on crypto because I can't talk about this stuff anymore, guys. I can't talk about it. It's going to help to refocus me. I'm going to get some treatment because, guys, I have PTSD.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now you're throwing ADHD, PTSD.
Oh, really?
Do you have any idea who the fuck you're talking?
I really don't. I really don't know how to explain what these people have really done to me. I can't stress it to you enough. I can't make you walk a mile in my shoes to understand what this feels like, to have everything stolen from you and to be stabbed in the back
Pause.
by the people that say they're your friends and they're still.
Yeah.
You fake crying, emotionally gaslighting, absolute coward, clutching to PTSD and ADHD without any understanding of what those are, to try and trigger every person who's an actual person going through that shit, just to make yourself not the problem. Because I'll tell you what ADHD doesn't do. I have hyperfocus. You know what my hyperfocus doesn't do? My hyperfocus doesn't say, Rob, go upstairs, open your safe, go inside your safe, take out of your safe, and then drive to some place where a vehicle is titled in someone else's name and confront them. That's not hyperfocus. That's not hyperfocus. That's not ADHD. That's not my inability to
That's
focus.
hyperfocus.
That's hyperfocus. That's hyperfuck up everything. That's not ADHD. That's not caused by PTSD. That is 1000% you narcissistic prick.
Rob, tell us how you really feel. Don't hold back.
I'm sorry. I deal with the thing is this is a spouse. This is a version of a spouse that I deal with in litigation. And when I run across a spouse like this, it is the hardest thing to deal with as an attorney because everything is some unexplained problem that is something that has nothing to do with what they're actually doing, but they like to throw out the buzzwords. They love the buzzwords more than anything in the world because it gives them cover, because they feel like if they say the right buzzword, PTSD, ADHD, ADD, trauma, inflicted harm, if they say the right buzzword, people won't look at their actual fucking behavior. I see this spouse time and time again. I see this parent time and time again. And I'm sorry, the gaslighting is bad enough when it involves a spouse in court. It is 1,000 times worse when it involves thousands of people on the fucking internet. So this prick needs to find a hole and crawl into it and not climb out. But he's not going to do that. He's going to keep on triggering every single person he can. And prosecutors, if you are looking for a co-counsel or anyone else to help you on research for something like this or a memo, I'm happy to help because this is some bullshit. Sorry. Not sorry.
I agree. Like the other thing that is just exceptional about that, like I do criminal defense, right? So I get people who want to play this game all the time. And one of the things that I find, you send people off to psych report, like to get psych reports. And sometimes it's like, okay, you've got a serious problem, like you've got some addictions, you've got some whatever, you've got all of this stuff, right? And it's like, okay, you need some actual help. But a lot of the time, is that they go and they get sent off for like their psych reports and so forth, and it comes back and it's like, oh, the diagnosis is malingering. And malingering is, you're covering the Johns Hopkins trial there, the Take Care of Maya. Malingering is you're faking it. So like, and then those people being like, yeah, I have PTSD, I have this, and it comes back as, no, he's got a serious case of bullshit. That then I'm like, yeah, we're not making that argument to the judge. So they're like,
well, and maybe that's why I'm so mad. You covered the opening statements and take care of Maya, right? You cover the opening statements.
Yeah,
that's a hard case. That's a really hard case.
It is,
and you're dealing with
brutal.
Complex issues. And you have this person throwing those issues out like candy.
Yep. And I gotta hit play again because this pause frame is causing me pain.
Yes.
Actively out there putting out untruths. They're still
like
actively out there doing it. They're still actively out there acting like I'm on drugs. When pressed, a person said, diet pills and Tren, which, guys, I have not taken Tren in a long time. Like, I don't think I've taken it this entire year. Okay.
Fantastic. The other thing I'll just note here is right now he's trying to be animated. Does he seem a little different than he did the night before? Like, I would be pointing to his behavior here and his behavior on the other thing and being like, there's a clear distinction. Buddy might have been high, might have been whatever.
There's a tox. There's a tox workup. There's a tox workup somewhere.
Oh God! I mean, I don't know if they pee tested him. I hope.
Pills, and I took some trenbolone last year. But the way things are worded, they're still worded, and other substances. What are the substances? What are the substances? Can you name them? Can you name one? Can you name them? And there were a couple accusations that were made about a couple other substances, which are, one is completely false, and one of them is a setup. And there's no reason for me to.
Wait a minute. One of them is false and one of them is a setup? What's he admitting to here? Because that sounds like he's admitting to something. That sounds like he's admitting to
sounds
something
like drugs.
It
sounds like possession is what it sounds like.
Yeah. So, yeah, and people are noting trenbolone is steroids. So I used to be on steroids. Oh, good.
I wanted to do a video. Here's what I wanted to do today. I want to come on here at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I wanted to make a video. I only got 2 hours of sleep. I didn't get home until 8 o'clock in the morning.
Then don't make a video.
I got back,
Yeah.
Like, I didn't go to sleep until, probably 8:30 or so. And then
muffin.
I had to wake up at 10:30 to talk to my lawyer. And so I'm hardly on any sleep, but it's fine. I can run on no sleep, no problem. But I wanted to come up here and make this video and talk about, I want to do a reaction video to the Altcoin Daily video. And I would like to go ahead and say this publicly. I said it on Twitter. I apologize to Altcoin Daily. And guys, I'm not apologizing to them because their interview was good and they pressed him, right, with TJ. I'm not doing it because of that, okay? I'm apologizing because
it kind of sounds like you are, though.
The PTSD that I'm talking about, guys, is that now I've been so brutally stabbed in the back, and it continues every single day. I'm watching to see if my lawyer text me. I hope my lawyers are good with what I'm saying here. I told them I was going to go.
They are not. Your
They're not.
lawyers-
They are not. They're so mad. They're so upset.
His lawyer, like, I'm checking to see if my lawyer's texting me. The lawyer's going to text you like a dick pic. It's not going to be friendly. It's just going to be like
his phone has so many notifications that he can't see because the lawyer has texted every 30 seconds for the last hour that he's been streaming. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
If I'm the lawyer, I'm doing this, and then I'm taking a picture of it and texting it to him.
Yep.
Like, you know, dear client, shut the.
If I'm a lawyer, I'm at his
dear
house.
former client, shut the F up.
If I'm at his lawyer, I'm at his house, slamming on the door, saying, "Stop the fucking stream!" Like,
yeah, wham, wham, wham. Yeah. Oh my God.
5 or 10 minutes, and I'm a little bit longer. I'm going to keep going too, but if they have any problems with what I say, they can text me or whatever. But the fact is that because what the other side has done to me, specifically the people who are out there talking about it, I've been so wounded in my soul, in my heart, and I've got so much PTSD from what has been done to me that I think everybody's out to get me now. Even my friend. Well, but once again, who are my friends? My friends were the ones that did this to me. So it's like,
now,
sir, everyone with PTSD would like a discussion.
Every time I feel like I'm wronged by someone, because I do feel like I was wronged by Austin and Aaron from Altcoin Daily. And I do feel like I was wronged by Wendy. Now, me and Wendy have talked this morning, and, really I was upset with Wendy because of what other people, I never saw what she said about me, okay? I never saw what she said on the video she made. I didn't watch anything after the whole thing broke. And she did reach out to me and give me a supportive message, but then she did a video, and I don't know what she said, but I was told that she said, she was talking about my relapse and she was clout chasing me. Like, that's
Hold up. Is he talking about his fucking wife?
I don't think is that when I don't think that's his wife. I think that's another influencer. If he's talking about his wife clout chasing him,
if he's talking about his wife in that regard, who is Ben?
I don't think it's his wife. There's no way it's his wife that he'd be talking about his clout chasing.
No, his wife's name apparently is Bethany. I don't know who Wendy is.
I think it's just another crypto influencer.
Good God. It sounded way too close to the wife comment.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah.
Savage Viking. If I'm the prosecutor, he's not getting a plea deal.
I mean, you always can give something, but it doesn't have to be very good. It's like, yeah, no, if we get him at trial, I'll be asking for 6 months. If he wants to plead, I'll give him 5 months. Like, yeah.
And the fact is I wish that, and she did talk to Hit Network that morning. And so she knew their side and she didn't know my side. And they're very good at presenting their side as if there's no option. Like, that's what they've been doing the whole time. They've been really good at presenting their side like, I don't have a defense. And that's what they've done to the employees. And that's what they've done to other content creators. Now, a lot of content creators, and look, that was the first day. So I didn't speak out that day. So I guess she probably assumed it was true. And it hurt me, okay? Austin and Arnold, why did they hurt me? Because I said any channel they go on are not my friends. And I look at Austin and Aaron as friends first before I look at them as content creators. And that's how I look at everybody.
So now I think the rest of this is just him wading into drama. Oh my God. Yeah, Crypto Wendy is not his wife. It's a crypto influencer. I don't want to get into like the world of crypto influencers.
I know.
because I assume all of them are terrible human beings, and so far I have not been proven wrong.
I was going to say, for the sake of my sanity and the fact that it's after midnight and I do have to work tomorrow, that I can't deal with any more gaslighting this evening. But
I'm gonna wrap it up myself here because the rest of it is just him talking about all of his crypto influencers and so forth. This is terrible at what he's doing. Like, all of this from beginning to end is the dumbest thing. And I look forward to more stupid out of Ben Armstrong. Like, I really look forward to more dumb from this guy because it makes me feel so much better about my clients. Like, sure, I had a guy who got high on meth and stole a police car. And
you're about to say it, aren't you? But he didn't do this.
He's making better life choices than this guy. It was really entertaining because the cops later found the guy at his house, and he had burn marks on his wrists from where he dremeled off the handcuffs, and the cops could see behind him on the table, like through the door, they could see the handcuffs that he'd cut through because, yeah, he while handcuffed, stole a police car and drove away. That guy, I still feel like I would rather have him as a client again than, crypto bro here.
I mean, deal. Give me that. Like, give me that. Give me that deal.
So, I feel like we need to bring Law Talk with Mike on for this. We got the this level of dumb may break even Law Talk with Mike. I haven't been on a stream with Law Talk with Mike in a while, so I wonder how he's doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's got everything that he wants to deal with. Crazy person, thruple. It's exactly right up his alley. So, yeah. I see somebody says stole a police car and drove home. You bet. Where else would you go when you've got a stolen police car? Directly to your home. So, yeah. Oh, Uncivil says Law Talk with Mike got married.
That's trolling.
To one person or two? I know it's trolling, but I have to lean into it. So people are saying, why does crypto attract these guys? Well, at this point, the bottom has fallen out of crypto. And so a lot of these guys, like a lot of the crypto sphere, is recommending shit coins and then pumping them up. And what is it?
Pump and dump.
Yep. Everybody buy this shit coin. Everybody does. The price goes up. The original influencer sells and they make the money. No one else does. So it's yeah. And they take there's a lot of shady endorsements where they take an endorsement for similar things. Like maybe they don't invest in the coin themselves, but they take an endorsement for the shit coin. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to keep following this guy because he is, he's freaking hilarious. And, yeah, I mean, maybe he'll, I don't know. If he starts trying to send his flying monkeys after me, that'll be entertaining. But I'm not that worried about him showing up on my front door. I don't think he's going to be able to cross the border right now. So yeah, that's kind of my feeling on that. And we have Trials of the Century tomorrow, don't we?
No, it's next week.
Next week. Okay.
Because we have to prep our slideshow and make everything's ready to order. Yes, next week.
That makes sense. I was not certain, so I'm kind of ready.
Gotta get the slideshow. The putting the week between it is a logical thing because you and I both have jobs.
Well, after this stream, I have to prep a response to a filing, and then I have to. I want to get 5 pages done on a project I've been calling Project Monolith, which I'm not yet ready to do full discussion on, but it is a project. And
you left that freeze frame up for way too long, by the way.
Fair. You have power.
I just pulled it down.
And then I also need to what do you call it? I guess I need to finish my hot sauce labels and get them ordered. So
yeah.
So that's about it. We'll deal with this, or we'll wrap this up here. Oh, I'm going to cover the last of the super chats. You are welcome to hang around or bail as you wish.
I'm going to bid you adieu
late
for the evening. I need to get to sleep, guys. Love all you guys. Thank you very much. I just scanned the super chats. That look like there's any questions that need the input that I would add that you cannot handle. But thank you guys for hanging out. And Ian, thanks for covering this. I was glad I shot some of this stuff to you because
I was once like Rob sort of tipped me off. He's like, "Have you seen what's going on with crypto, bro?" And I'm like, or with Bitboy crypto, and I was like, "What?" And then I looked and I was like, "Oh, hey, he got arrested." And then I found the arrest video, like his own take and arrest video. And I was just like,
it's good. It was good. It was bad. It was good. It was good content. But I'll catch you guys later. Thank you guys. Thank you for having me on, Ian. Love you all. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Cheers. Night. Oh, and we've got Nicholas Starro saying, "Good morning, Rob and Ian. I have some spare change. Thinking of crypto. Any advice?" You would do better probably just throwing the coins at swans. Don't do that. This is Runkle Land. Balls. I need to make a balls swoop. I've got the full Corey swoop, but that is a little long. So, yep. Cookie Lady, thank you very much for the membership. And that is a cute pupper. Love the pupper pick. Alan Fortenberry, come on, Ian. Rob needs to rub his ball to make sure it stays shiny. Oh, God. I'm glad Rob went to sleep for that one. As long as Runkle and Rob keep streaming, the memory of Corey will live on YouTube. Balls. Follow Pixie's channel. Pixie, the crap goth. So, yeah. Lindsay, Ian, you can't chastise Rob for rubbing his balls on stream when you had your unclothed because YouTube is censoring the other word knob on stream for all of last week. Oh, God. Happy Annie, can't fix stupid. No, but I mean, if you hit it with a hammer enough, it can help. So, Jesus Christ, I just remembered he has kids. Can you all imagine what it's like to have him as a dad? Oh, we might get to find out through a family law case. We might get all sorts of details. Crazy Cat Queen, most of us chat also yelling ST Foxtrot uniform at the clown. Yes. Kristen M96, best cheese to go with his wine. I'm a fan of St. Augur. There's a few others. So, yeah. His lawyer should call a 24/7 electrician to drive out there, turn his power off, and then take some shears to the fiber cable. Yeah, he'd somehow manage to he'd be on his phone streaming. Rachel Dueck, his lawyer needs to fire him out of a cannon aimed at Ramree Island. He can make friends with the Cross. Is that Cross or Crocs? Was that supposed to be? Celine, is this when we say see you next Tuesday, Muffin? Maybe. Let's not spell that out. Rob and Ian on Hot Ones with Johnny Depp. That would be awesome. I would love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen. So, yeah. Somebody's saying, tell me more about this hot sauce. So, I made a hot sauce at ages ago. I made a hot sauce, and it was my own personal hot sauce. I just fermented up a hot sauce myself, and I literally made one jar of it, like one small mason jar. and the it's a really good sauce. It was a really good sauce. I really liked it, and I was just about running out of it when somebody sent me a message to say, "Hey, a buddy of mine is getting into fermenting, like as a business. Would you like to to make your own hot sauce?" And I went, "Hell's yeah, I would." So I ended up going and I he was like, "Hey, do you have a recipe idea? Do you have like a flavor idea?" And so I actually sent him the recipe information for my personal hot sauce. Now, I didn't save a recipe. I didn't save a full recipe because I don't really run that way. What I did is I took a picture of the ingredients and I sent it to him and said, "Can you work with this?" And he said, "Yeah, I absolutely can." So he took that, he modified it a little bit, and came up with a hot sauce. And there's two versions. This version, the Everyone Makes Mistakes, is the lighter version. There is a hotter version, which includes some Carolina Reapers for extra oomph. So I got them, and I was worried because you already, you're paying for this to be made, and you're kind of concerned. You're like, how's this gonna work? And I tasted it, and I was like, this is pretty much just the hot sauce I made. I really like this sauce. I've been using it on all sorts of things. I've actually gone through an entire bottle of my own hot sauce so far, and I'm on the second one. So I'm going to save some of those. But I think it's a good sauce. I would not and I'll tell you, if I got the sauce and I've got, I forget how many bottles. If I got the sauce and I didn't think it was good, I wouldn't sell it, at least not under my name, because that would not be, that's just not how I roll. So yeah. See, but does it suck? I don't think it sucks. I think it's good sauce. What can I tell you about Project Monolith? It's a tabletop RPG project, but I can't give you too many details. Emma Z, thank you very much for 5 gifted memberships. Much appreciated. And if you guys haven't liked the stream, I guess this is your last chance to it, or to do so. But yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up here. And yeah, we'll have to see. So do I have samples of both labels? I don't. I only got a sample of one. The main reason why is because they were warning that the small text might not be readable. And that's important for the nutritional information, right? That's got to be right. So I needed to make sure that this was going to be legible, because if it's not legible, then Health Canada can come after me. But it seems to be legible, and so we're good to go on that, I think. So yeah, and I am proud of this sauce. If people don't like it, then they don't like it. But I like this sauce. So we will see. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here. I will see you guys next time, and catch you later. Yeah, I don't want to end up like the pink sauce lady. We're going to make only quality stuff. I got into making the hot sauce so that I could have it. And yeah, Tiffany, I can't ship to the US at this point due to the FDA regulations. If that ever changes, then I will ship to the US. But for right now, I can only ship to Canada. So you might be able to find somebody in Canada to help you out. But yeah. All right. That is that. And see you guys next time.